post it? Hello and welcome to this live stream of we're doing SE in the park. This is a real slapdash day. We are starting way late from where our plans were. Hi there. What's your name?
China.
Hello, China. And are you okay with being on our live stream?
Yeah.
Very good. Can you hear China well enough? She's well back from the microphone. I want to make sure that.
You want me to come closer?
Sure. And you can put on those headphones if you like.
Oh, so we're really doing this.
Yeah, we're really gonna do it.
Oh, this is cool.
We're handing her a mask. Did you give her a mask, please?
Oh, I actually have a mask.
You have a mask? Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pretty pastry. Masks are getting so stylish in 2020.
Aren't they?
It's so nice.
Oh my god. I'm so tired.
Hi, thanks. I'm hearing something in the background. Oh, I can hear your podcast going on.
Oh. Oh my god.
That's what it was.
There you go.
So, China, thank you for stopping by. This is Street Epistemology, where we ask you things you believe, things things that affect your choices, and we don't push back. We come from a neutral place and ask you why you believe, where you came to it, things like that.
Cool.
So, what do you believe that matters in your day?
I believe positivity. I believe you need to be positive and have a good outlook on the life that you have currently.
Okay.
So you can push forward to get a better life if you're not happy.
Excellent. What does it mean to what kind of things? What would be the checklist for me to think positive?
That you woke up. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if your health is decent, that's another thing because it could be worse.
Okay, so this is acknowledging the things that are. I'm still alive. I'm healthy. I'm happy.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And just having an outlook that it could be worse because I've been in a position where it has been worse, and then now I'm grateful for it being better. So yeah.
Okay. And you say this makes things better.
Yeah.
How does it change things to be positive?
You just have a better energy about you, and I think when you're positive, people see that and it radiates, and you just have a better outlook on life. You know, if you walk around and you have a negative attitude, a negative vibe, people see that, and that affects how your day goes, basically, I think, and it affects your life. So
okay, very good. Does it affect other people?
It affects other people because if I came over here, just like right now, I was so happy that you guys gave me this water, and I'm like, they just, you changed my life, but I feel like I had a pretty good attitude. If I would have got mad or something, then we're both. The vibration would have just been off, So I was happy that you guys gave me the water, and I was like, why not come over here? You guys had a pretty inviting attitude, so that did change the course of our day, right? So,
yes, it did. So, what would be the alternative? Would there be people who just go through life being negative?
Yes, and you could see that, and I feel like that's what creates misery, and it's bad, it's unhealthy for you, and it's actually kind of sad, So.
Mm-hmm. Where did you learn this, or I don't mean specifically exactly where. I mean, what convinced you that this was a good idea?
Just personal experiences and actually going through it myself and seeing the change from having a negative outlook towards having a more positive outlook, and how it just made my quality of life a little bit better.
Okay. If this were, it doesn't matter at all, and wow, a positive outlook is the thing that really makes a difference in the world.
Yeah.
Where would you put yourself?
I would put that all the way right there.
Okay, we are right off the scale. I will note. I will note it is.
Right, it's off the scale, off the chart.
Just right off the scale. Okay. Very good. Thank you for that. Are there people in your life who share this idea?
You know what? I feel like a lot of them share the negative, more of the negative life
Ah,
aspect, and I want to draw away from that. And so that's what got me more towards being the opposite of that because I see their quality of life and I see
yeah.
where they're going with it, and I want to be completely different.
So some of these people are is your name spelled Chin?
Yes.
Thank you. My producer's typing it.
Oh, okay.
Because right now it's got Quinn's name,
Oh.
and that's Quinn over there.
Oh, hello.
On the thing. Quinn is one of my another epistemologist.
Oh, okay.
That's what we call ourselves. Street
Okay.
epistemologists. We like to find out how and why people believe things.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah. So you've got these people that are negative in your life.
Hmm.
Have they come to that idea through reason, or maybe this is just
I think
their
it's
default position?
upbringing, environment, and it's just a ingrained mentality kind of.
Right.
And I don't even think they realize it. And at this point, even though I might try to bring it up, I don't know if it's easy for them to change, because it's just so ingrained in them. So yeah, it's kind of their personality now, their characteristics now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think are there any good arguments toward, okay, what's the benefit of being negative? Is there any benefit?
There's no benefit. I mean, maybe it's a defense mechanism,
Uh-huh.
probably, so
Okay.
maybe you won't get hurt or I don't know, but it's just, I don't think it's beneficial at all. But when you're raised like that, it's just part of you.
Okay. Is it, I'm hearing that it's very difficult to change it.
Yeah, it is.
What's the hardest thing about changing to having a positive attitude?
Just it being, I guess, what would you call it? What do you call something that you do all the time? It's like
Habit?
yeah, it's like a habit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Ingrained habit.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like something that you do. It's your personality really. So
Okay.
yeah, at least coming from my personal
Yeah.
viewpoint. Yeah. So
Have you been taking this attitude a while?
yeah, you know what? Like I said, I'm coming from the negative type of
Mm-hmm.
viewpoint. So I've been one person that was living their life. Kind of, I'll get mad very easily.
Mm-hmm.
Things will tick me off, very short tempered, but that got me nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
That gets people not liking you, that gets people wanting to get away from you. People might not help you as much because you're just, people don't want to be around that,
Mm-hmm.
So I know with that, coming from that, I had to make the own personal change, and I know it was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
To just have a better outlook. So
Mm.
I know for them how hard it must be, especially being older than me,
Mm-hmm.
stuck in your ways, to try to go back now and change that.
Did you learn from people to do this that did it and showed you? Was this something by example, or was it something by theory?
This is just something personal. How I felt after I started changing myself was completely better. So that's why I took on this lifestyle.
I think it's wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm very pleased and happy about it. And,
Thank you.
I hope to follow your model.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Lower her camera just a little bit.
All right. Well,
there we go. Thank you.
Thank you,
China. A little bit more.
Oh,
no, are you hearing FK?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah, you're hearing. By the way, he's 9 time zones away from us.
Oh, wow. Where is he? I hear an accent.
He's in North Macedonia.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, nice to meet you. All right, guys.
All right. Indeed. Thank you for that.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Your name is?
I'm Dolly.
Nice to meet you.
Also known as Juggling Lesson.
Dope. Okay. Can I see this anywhere or
yes.
something?
We are live on YouTube on the channel Juggling Lesson.
I'll look it up right now.
YouTube user Juggling Lessons.
For sure. All right. Thank you guys so much.
You.
It was a pleasure.
All right.
Bye, guys.
I want to wipe. I'm going to relinquish my seat to Quinn. You're up next. Oh, yikes.
I'll sit over there then.
Yeah, I'm going to get your wife. So many. Oh, my Set up for camping for the weekend, it looks like.
Looks like nice weather.
I don't think they're wearing headphones.
Nonetheless, a nice day to be outside and practice SE.
I bet that's how that works. I swear I just looked up and saw a cat looking at me. It's very suggestive. I mean, on the table. Here we go. A wipe for the head. See a scene where it says Elenchus?
Yeah.
Click that.
And then what? That's it?
Yeah. Good.
Wow.
All right.
Wide angles in there. Oh yeah. So how was China?
China had a good the claim she wanted to be, have a very positive attitude, and that resulted in lots of good things. Her reasons were almost entirely her own personal experience, and she didn't acknowledge any external influence in this. No teacher, no example.
Videos, no books, just
Right. So
personal experience. Okay.
yeah, and she was slightly off the charts.
110%.
Yep. Yep. Just and she actually called out her own putting it past them.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was aware of that.
Yep, she was aware of that.
Yeah, I find those claims really difficult. Like, I believe in positive thinking. It just seems so vague and maybe obvious that it's good to me.
Right. So we went down the track of basically I was in agreement that the claim was a good idea, and we just took the what's the evidence? It's a personal experience. It took a while to do, and it's difficult to get there, and she has lots and lots of positive advantage. We could work on that. She's sort of stuck on a very high doxastic position.
Right.
I didn't feel like I wanted to dig on that.
Yeah. It's understandable.
I think it was just worth positive acknowledgement in this case because
that's a good way to go about life.
It's a good way to go about life. If she's over certain, well,
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're the ones who are supposed to do something about that, but I don't know.
I didn't take the advantage to dig on her over certainty and push her on that. It seemed like we didn't have the rapport time to take what was 5 minutes. It would probably take 20 or 30 to get down there, and a lot of rapport, because now I'm asking someone to examine something carefully that they are holding as a part of identity.
Yeah, something
it's probably gonna turn around to, I want to be a good person, therefore.
Right. Yeah.
It's almost certainly when you're.
I'm convincing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Convincing myself of it.
Yeah. In a case like that, as I'm used to in chapter 7 and 6 of Impossible Conversations, the idea is that at least Haidt and Boghossian et al. Are of the opinion that those are almost always identity. Those relate to, I want to be a good person because, or this makes me.
More about the belief is correlates with your idea of yourself or your ideal of yourself, maybe. Yeah.
So if you look down on the live show text,
yep.
Do you see anybody typing any question?
Let me scroll down here.
I'm hearing a reflection sound. Is that you, Kimberly, or is that something? It's like it's about as far behind as the YouTube show. Now I'm not hearing the reflection sound anymore. Oh, that's fine. China received our gift partially.
Questions.
I think China left her free water.
Wow. She was so excited about it.
It was a big important deal for her. I'm gonna toss that over there. I don't want to hand it to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. Please put these in the studio bag. Okay. We don't have cards. Well, actually, those are CordialCuriosity. Did you steal some already?
No, I put them back.
Because they're Reid on
Yeah.
them? Okay. Kimberly, can I have the studio bag? Have some that me sure get more of these. Sweet. Actually, I plan to get a good stacky of these. Yeah. And when I mean a stack of these, I'm talking about maybe 1,000 or so. I'm not all that interested in pushing the business card channel or something, but for SEI is probably the better thing. Okay.
Maybe put the topics board next to the water.
Yes. Have they seen the topics board? Have y'all? Has the room seen the topics board? Oh, sorry. Yeah. It wasn't near the water. It's here. I'm going to hold it here for about a jeopardy. And then we'll hang it back up in the water.
Common name is John Charles.
John Charles. Okay. Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like yeah. Would you mind putting the headphones on?
Okay.
That way you could hear me.
All that.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Yeah, we could even talk about that. What's that? The board? The question board? Thank you, sir.
Ooh,
So,
question board.
Yeah,
Law of attraction is good.
Law of attraction?
Yeah.
Okay, we can
I'm an alchemist, so I can.
Oh, you're an alchemist. Okay.
Okay.
I'd love to talk about that. What is the law of attraction?
So, law of attraction is
Yeah.
Law of attraction is what you think and what you believe creates your reality.
Okay.
And in doing so, you are, no matter what your religion or aspect in religion. It's basically you are a creator as well. And so if you think negative things, they actually happen. And if you think positive things, they actually happen.
When you
Right.
said you're a creator as well,
Yeah.
what do you mean by creator?
Meaning that you come from a divine source, a life force, wherever you want to call it, doesn't matter. He doesn't, whatever he or doesn't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's everything.
Okay.
Okay. So if you will come from that DNA, then of course you can
You can
manifest
create.
things. But I don't use the word manifestation. I would say visa creata.
Visa
That is-
creata.
Yeah, that is vision to create.
Okay.
So once you have this vision in your head, and it's like a goal.
Right.
You have this goal, and you're determined to do whatever you need to do to get to this goal. And you have people along your path, that will come in as teachers or obstacles, and those obstacles are also teachers, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And
It can be. Yeah.
are actually the greatest teachers because it teaches you about your strengths and limitations.
So what I'm really curious about is like so I think what I heard you saying is that the universe is essentially God.
Yes.
They're synonymous, and since we are in the universe, we share its DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, we're able to manifest things
Having a human experience.
or create things.
Mhm.
And the idea I think of law of attraction, you said it's like you have ideas that you create things with your thoughts. You shape your reality with your thoughts. So why do you think that is?
Well, the thing with practicing it is if you practice it, you can do a slow practice for yourself where you can think of something that is not going to help you along the way. Like it's a thought of I'm not smart enough, or I'm not strong enough, or it's that thing of I'm not enough.
Those are those thoughts that keep you back.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
And then it manifests because deep down in your subconscious mind, you have this thought that sits there festering.
Right.
And so when you get these negative thoughts or anything about you, self-loathing yourself, which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
We all do it.
Right.
It'll come this thing where you're like, oh, and as soon as you get that thought, change that thought into a positive. So I'm not, if you don't get something, some kids, I've heard a little kid say, oh, oh, that was stupid of me, I'm dumb.
Right.
And I said, don't say that, you're not dumb, you're not stupid.
Yeah.
You just didn't get, you're not understanding it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
one thing I'm curious about, the thoughts sort of transforming your reality. Is it enough to have a thought alone, or does it have to have a preceding action?
It does follow with an action, because once you have a goal and you have a vision and you're thinking positive, right? So the action is that's the beginning of the
Is the thought.
It's a thought, right? So the movement comes in, right?
Right.
So the thing is, and it doesn't have to be this big step. It could be very little steps. Like today, I don't like walking, but I'm here, right?
Yeah.
And it's like once I start,
that's the hardest part. Yeah. I know.
And to get here, right?
Yeah, just even get up
and
drive
and
here
put all this on,
yeah.
and
and just start walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you come, and then you get here, and before I know it, I'm doing 3 miles. Right. And I'm like, wow, I didn't want to do anything today. I was tired. I was in my mind, I was playing this record.
Right.
It's too hot. It's
too tired.
they're too tired.
My legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're too old to be out there.
Right. Yeah. But see, maybe someday you'll run a marathon because you started here today, right? Like,
yeah. So a lot of things that I practice is just that, I've been practicing this for, I guess we all do it from the time that we're little. When you think of yourself as a child, you have such a wide imagination and just these goals and dreams.
Mm.
And why does that aspect go? Because of being hit so much in the world of some of it being negative.
Yeah.
The first thing that I remember as a child was a teacher gave me a sad face on my paper,
Uh-huh.
right? And then that F,
Ooh,
you know,
yeah.
and
That's
and
the
I
worst.
played with it. I did little tears on the eyes.
Right.
But when I think about it, you know, I thought about it, I got a flashback to that, and I thought, from that time, if had I believed, and I did have some trouble in math
Uh-huh.
because of that, because I believed that I was a failure,
And it might be because of that F that you got. Okay.
right? And so there's no failure. We're all here just trying to do the best that we can with what we know how to do.
In that instance
Mhm.
where, like, let's say before you got that F in that sad face,
Mhm.
you didn't really have that negative connotation to you about math.
No.
Did you have a positive one?
Yes, I was. It was positive because I was open to everything.
Okay.
And so as a child, you go in there, you're open to everything, the experience is, you probably didn't get what the teacher was saying.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that she didn't really come back to you to say, well, let's see how you understand
Okay.
or work it out this way,
Right.
So
So, when like you come in, when you start, you're open. Like
mhm,
you're open to trying everything and working hard maybe to get what you want.
yeah.
But once you get that F, what tends to happen is you start to doubt yourself.
Mhm.
Um, so you're saying it would be better to not doubt yourself to get that F and not
Mhm.
think that you're really failing,
Right.
but
Right.
to
The thing
instead.
is that you tried.
And how would you
And
turn that thought around? What?
so the thought of this is not to absorb the failure. Just saying that you were trying to do the best that you could with what you knew how to do,
Okay.
right? And then going back at it and seeing if you can do it a different way. One thing about in math, there are all kinds of ways to get an answer,
Uh-huh.
especially in algebra. But at that young stage, first grade, you're just getting to the part where you're getting to know your or Head Start, right?
Yeah, and then it's just like basic arithmetic too. There's not too many ways to tackle 2
Right,
plus 2. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Um,
And so I think it was. I think if it was, I think it was. It was.
multiplication tables, like
No, it
division,
was division.
long division,
It
maybe.
was. It was no short
Short
division.
division. No, division's where it gets tough, definitely. I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah,
But
yeah. You remember that?
I do. So this is kind of a typical question
Mhm,
on the law of attraction as you know it, and I
mhm.
think what I'm getting is that saying that it's if you if you approach anything with a positive thought,
Yes,
you will have a positive outcome.
and being open, like you're opening yourself up to receive all the goodness the universe has.
On that claim,
Mhm.
if you could take this and show our camera, if this is 100%, you believe that the
Mhm,
law of attraction works,
mhm,
and then this is 0%, where would
mhm.
you be at? Could you
I
take
would
that one?
be completely
Could you take it
over.
off?
Yeah.
Show everybody
I
where
would
you're at.
be completely over that it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Okay.
the way over.
Okay. So you're there.
Yeah.
I'm about here.
You're right there.
Yeah. Um.
It you know what? It takes time because once you start doing it, you start to see what they call miracles or what they call I don't even think they're miracles. It happens to be that say the other day I was walking here, okay, around the road.
Mhm.
Coyote ran.
Okay. Thanks. So
Okay.
just to sum up, we talked about the law of attraction.
Right.
I think what what John is saying is something. Oh, sorry, Yaya. That's
Mhm.
that's an answer I remember. What Yaya was saying was that the law of attraction is something that when when you approach something with a positive thought, you receive a positive outcome as long as you're open-minded as well. And the vice versa is true when you approach something with a negative thought, you
Yeah.
receive a negative outcome.
And words, and things about the words too. It's really important how you use your words.
Okay.
You know, um, it could be a little thing like, oh, I can't eat that right now. I'm getting fat. You know,
Right.
uh,
So it's kind of what you put out into the universe with your
yes,
words. And I
words.
remember you
Words
saying,
are things.
yeah,
Words are things.
they're
You
sound
absorb them. They
waves.
go all into
Yeah.
your clothing, into your words are things.
Okay.
You know, and they have it has power behind it. You
Yeah.
know, if you think about it, before words there were just sound. You know,
Mhm.
we just
We just
yeah, right.
yeah.
So what you think, what you say, and what you believe creates your reality.
And I think we put the qualification that thoughts have to be preceded by an action or a word
Mm-hmm.
in order for that to transform your reality.
Right,
Right.
because you have to do some of the work. It's not just
Yeah.
like sitting there,
It
right?
isn't just sitting there thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Well, you
because
can
that's
do it
what some
also.
people think.
You can do some things with yoga. Now, I've tried that in yoga, right?
Mhm.
Where you're sitting down and you're meditating, and you know, meditation is basically listening to what source has,
The source. Okay. Yeah.
or whatever you
Right. God, the universe, the source.
And then the thing about prayer, I don't use the word prayer. When you break it down, we're good with words.
Hmm.
If you break them down, it tells you like pray.
Yeah.
So petitioning is speaking to.
Okay.
Okay. So there's not, you can never ask for,
Mm.
you can never, there's no limit to. So some people have this thing about putting limitations on themselves.
Yeah.
God, I've asked you.
And
You know,
have you gotten all of it?
I'm still receiving. I'm still receiving. Sometimes I block myself because of the thoughts. It's like I said, it's not easy. It's one of the things that you have to practice.
Right.
And like right now with, I'm having a dilemma with, I help people in housing and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
there's some clients that I have that are not following the guidelines, and it's 3 households, and it's a lot of pressure because they're bringing in a lot of negative, destructive
Energy.
energy into this little village called the apartment building. But
Okay.
everyone there is kind of like, it's a little small world. It's
Right.
international.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So there's
And
not a lot of
it's everyone there.
Yeah.
From India to African to Spanish, Honduran,
Yeah.
Guatemalan, Filipino, Indian.
It's like a language barrier too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little, cool place.
But I got a question. So
Mhm.
and just because you guys couldn't hear us earlier,
Mhm.
I'm about right here on the law of attraction. Yaya's way over here on the law of attraction. And I'm curious because you said, you're still receiving what would you call it, gifts from the universe that you're asking for?
Yeah, and also with petitioning too, you could also write cathartically about your thoughts
Yeah.
and what you want, and just put the letter away.
And all these things will get, you're not putting limitations on it. You've asked for a lot, and
Yeah.
you think you're gonna get all of it.
You could do a dream board too. There's this thing called dream board, right? Or Pinterest, right?
Oh yeah,
That's
online.
that's a dream board.
Okay, yeah, it could be online.
Yeah, and you're doing and then if you were to do that, like I do that like every first of the year, right? I don't do this resolution.
You start at the beginning of the year.
I'll do
with
a
the
letter
dream
to the
board.
universe, and then
Okay.
I'll do a dream board type
Yes.
of thing, and
So
then
you've
I'll
done
look
it
at
for
it
the
the
past-
next year.
You've done it for the past few years.
Yeah,
Do you always get what you want? Every time.
yeah.
That's crazy.
So
if
I've
that-
only done it for 3 years, right? I gotta be honest with you. I've only done it for 3 years, and when I look at my boards now, everything on those 3 boards is completed.
See that if I had that experience and went
Mhm.
through and did my dream board and asked the universe for stuff,
Mhm.
and I wasn't putting limits on myself and all that,
Mhm.
that would convince me over here, you know.
And the
So
thing
maybe I
is
just have
too,
to go
like
through
when
that
it starts
experience.
happening like that, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, and it kind of freaks you out,
Right.
it does freak you out, and you're just like, God, I just had that thought, and here it is, right?
Yeah.
Like I told you the thing with the coyote.
Right.
So
Right.
she asks me what that is.
Uh-huh.
What's that mean? And I look at her and I go, for her to ask me, what does that mean? People don't even care what a coyote is.
Uh-huh.
It means that she's awake, she's awakened in some way.
Okay.
And so she says, I said, look, Google what totem animal coyote means. What does it mean spiritually when you see a coyote, when it comes straight up to you? Because it was on your pathway, not on mine.
Right.
Came up to you. And so she Googles it real fast and she goes, folly and wisdom. And I said, so what's going on right now? I said, are you being fooled or trickstered with anything? Or, you know, so.
I've got a couple questions on that. Like, what is this? You said a totem?
Totem, an animal totem is a spirit animal that is assigned to you, right? So all of us have spirit animals. Like if I were to ask you,
I think mine is a turtle.
okay, my son's is a turtle. If I were to ask you what is the animal that you think is the most beautiful animal that you've ever seen? You can't keep your eyes off it, and you want one, and every time you see it, it just takes your breath away. What is that?
It's I'm really fascinated with turtles, and I've had like experiences with them. I don't think I believe in spirit animals, that there is something that I'm born with that is a spirit that relates to, but I would say like in the way that turtles are maybe like patient, guarded, and take their time.
Yes. And
I
what's
think
the
I'm
shell? What does the
similar to
shell
that.
do? It's armored,
Yeah.
right? It's protected.
Yeah, so I get what I'm saying is like I understand it and resonate with that on a metaphorical level.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there's something real and tangible that gives someone a spirit? Do you think that's born with something inside them or something like that?
Well, what I feel is this: is like,
And we'll
okay,
get back to the law of attraction. In a
yes,
second. I
we'll
just
get
want to
back to that. But so the spirit animal is like this. It comes from the Aborigine people, and this ancient history where even Africa, or you think and you see that the animal, like say that coyote that came
Yep.
up, and then later on that day, same day, after talking to that young lady, I'm at my apartment buildings, and the kids come out and tell me because I'm managing, and they come out and they tell me there's a coyote in the alley, and I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I said, no, there can't be a coyote. We're in the middle of the city.
Where is that? Where is this?
This is in
LA?
Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
Over by Sprouts. It's right behind DMV.
Okay.
So the coyote, I see it. It
Uh-huh.
runs through the
Right.
alley and then jumps over the fence.
Right.
And I'm thinking, okay, this is twice. Maybe the message wasn't only for her; it's for me too.
Check this out. There, Altadena
Mhm.
in particular
Yes.
is known for its coyote population.
Yes.
So hypothetically,
And the gates were closed.
hypothetically, could it just be that there's some coyotes that come down from the mountains of
Mhm.
Altadena, and
Well,
that it was just a coincidence that you saw it there?
right. And that we have the fires and the animals are coming
They're coming
down.
down
We
from the
have
mountains,
rabbits
yeah.
down here, all kinds of
There's
things.
a bunch of shit
But
down
the
here.
fact
Right?
that it comes down my pathway where I live behind my apartment,
That's a sign for you.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a sign for you. And then you just look into what that means. You just kind of just like, okay, what does a coyote mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just read about its behaviors and everything, and then see what's going on in your life. See how the comparison is. Oh, that's what.
Okay.
So it's a. We get little messages through everything. We get it through nature, not just animals, We get it through nature. We get it through everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. And you start to read these symbolisms.
Okay. I got a couple more questions
Yeah.
for you. Just to bring it back to law of attraction, I think it applies to the animal thing as well. This kind of a question, but um, so each year at the beginning of the year, you write out kind of what you want, right, and then look back at it at the end of the year. And so far, your checklist, for lack of a better word, have been complete. Like they've been granted.
Yeah.
What if they weren't?
Sometimes not okay, there may have been one thing that I didn't, when I saw that one thing didn't come through, it's because I'm still working on it, or I have a block that I need to work on in order to achieve this, right?
Oh, there's an obstacle
Yes.
between you and the goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have to figure
So
out.
would you consider that a limit? Wouldn't
A
that be like let's say I really want to graduate from Harvard next year, but there's certain limitations to the fact that it would probably take me at least 4 years to graduate. It would probably take me a lot more work and a lot more better grades to get into Harvard.
Right.
So there's certain realistic, maybe limitations, I'd call them in life, that are keeping me from this.
Yeah.
Could I use the law of attraction to graduate from Harvard?
Yeah, you could. Okay. And the thing is that when you do that, you're putting in the thought of your head, like I want to graduate next year from Harvard, and you're going to do the work that entails this to happen, right?
Yeah.
And when you come into, if you come into a place where you're kind of stuck, that's where you start doing the work.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So the work is
necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you saw that one of those things on your list, on your checklist, wasn't it didn't go through, and you noticed there was a block there. Is there anything, like, let's say you made a list of this year, and at the end of the year you realized no, would that lower your confidence from 100%?
No, because what it does is it's taught me to go within and evaluate what is it that I feel in that certain area that I did not give 100% at. Maybe say, okay, this year I was 396, right? So I'm down to I think I'm 260, right?
So you're saying you
something.
lost over 100 pounds this year?
Yeah.
Congrats. That's awesome.
But I'm doing the work. I'm juicing.
Right.
I'm eating correctly. My diabetes is gone. I had a pre-diabetic.
You're walking around the Rose
I'm
Bowl?
walking around the Rose Bowl, which I don't like to do.
Right. Yeah.
And so I just left the doctor's today, and she told me I had a clean bill of health. And I'm just thinking, so I changed everything that was going on. I had high blood pressure, all of that stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, what is going on with me? I'm 50 something years old, and all this stuff is happening, right? So I just said I need to take care of myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And I went into the thing of health. That's also what's on my board. I want to be healthy, right? It's only 3 things I really ask for: joy, peace. That covers everything.
So I'm wondering, with the question that I had, and this is the last question I'll have for you.
Oh, I like that.
Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I've done a lot of talk radio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you seem like a talker, maybe like a. But the question is, so if you said if you had this list that none of it came true, that wouldn't make you less confident in the law of attraction being a real thing, right? You said it went okay. So is there anything that could falsify this belief that you? What could be true hypothetically that would make the law of attraction not real?
I just, it just always has been. I can't really see that. It always has been. We're not aware that it's always that we have been doing.
Hmm.
You know, it's always just a part of our who we are as creators, right?
Right.
So
Let me
you
ask
want
you.
what you're doing is you're getting a PhD in creating.
Let me ask you this real quick. This is it's a weird
Yeah.
version of this test, but there's maybe a certain amount of like hand wipes in here.
Yeah, 100 hand wipes.
Oh, Dolly's helping me out with something.
What do you
here.
got, dog? I got.
Oh,
the Tic
original.
Tacs. I
Yeah.
need those. Yeah.
No,
Give me one of
it's
those
not for
Tic
your breath, but so would you agree that there's either an even or odd amount of Tic Tacs in
Tacs. Would I agree? Yeah.
Okay, so like if you had to guess, just based on just looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
how many would you think are in?
God. 60.
60? Okay. So that's an even number. If I said 59 and we couldn't both be right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we took them out and we counted them. Let's say there were 60 of them in here.
Uh-huh.
You would feel comfortable saying I'm wrong, right? That you're right and I'm wrong.
Not really, because there's no right and wrong.
What do you mean?
There's no right and wrong. You're just trying to do the best that you can with what you know how to do.
So
We got to get out of that right and wrong thing.
how come?
Because the thing is that if you're trying to do the best that you can do, right? And well, it's not right and wrong. I'm thinking about failure. Failure.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about maybe fact or fiction.
Yeah.
True and false maybe is because right and wrong is like moral.
Yeah, it's moral.
That kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's
I'm saying if there were 60 in here, you would be right, right?
Mhm.
And I would be incorrect. You would be correct and I'd be incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess incorrect.
That's what I think. I think
Yeah.
that if you guess 60 and I guess 59 and it turns out that there's 60 in here,
Yeah.
I think I'd be incorrect. Not by much, but you'd be correct and I'd be incorrect.
I think it goes into the fact that we both were guessing,
Yeah.
right? And that's just what it is. Sometimes we hit the target, sometimes we don't.
Yeah. It was
But
that,
it's
yeah.
just so that's not really the thing of law. I mean, of
I know.
failure.
What I'm trying to bring it back to is
Mhm.
when we take all the Tic Tacs out,
Mhm.
you can we can either verify something or validate it, or we can either verify the number of Tic Tacs or falsify it. So my guess of 59 Tic Tacs being in here,
Mhm.
it was falsified when we counted it. Turned out there was 60. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes.
how could we do that with the law of attraction? How could we examine it in such a way, just hypothetically, where we could act on it? Like maybe
Well, okay, so that
maybe you have only positive thoughts, but nothing in your life ever goes the way you want it.
don't get me wrong. The ego puts in the negative thoughts, right? This is a part of us. It's a part of us. It challenges us.
What is
It's
the ego?
our ego,
Okay.
right? So you have to check that ego every time.
Uh-huh.
You got to put that ego in check all the time. All you're doing is putting your ego in check, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And saying like, that's out of control.
Uh-huh. Okay.
The ego doesn't have any compassion.
It's only self-serving.
Mm.
Okay.
And it can go into a narcissistic too.
Yeah.
If it goes too far, you know.
Okay.
So the thing is to be open and kind and loving toward everything.
This sounds like a good way to go about life for sure.
And it opens up. And you have to learn this. It's not a thing. It's as you go through life and as you experience things through life, right? I believe in many lives.
Okay.
But in this life, I know that I have, learned a lot, but I've also learned that like if anyone was to say, what's your religion, Yaya? And I would say love,
Mm.
because love conquers everything.
You know what? I think that's a good note to end it.
Yeah,
Love conquers everything. Thanks, Yaya,
you're
for stopping
welcome.
by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of
This is
course.
great. This is a great idea. I love it.
Yeah, totally. Feel free to take a water.
Okay.
Are we giving out these pieces? Okay. Do you want a puzzle piece?
Hey, you know what? I have some kids in my apartment building that would love that.
Okay. Oh yeah, we have yellow, red, and blue.
Let's go with yellow.
Yellow?
Get the sunshine in there. Yeah.
Forever here again.
Yeah. I had passed by earlier and I thought, and I looked and but I felt your energy first.
Mm.
Yeah. And I came over, I was like, is that the shaman? She's a shaman.
She does have the loudest energy here,
Yes,
for sure.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Are we off now or?
We're off.
Oh, we're off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, what are these?
Those are dice. Those are dice.
Yes, they have the numbers on them, right? Somebody gave me something like this, and so now.
Well, if you want to take a picture, phone.
Yes, thank you.
That's what I ordered.
Mm.
You take a picture of your phone like that, you'd be able to get your own. Those are 3D printed metal.
Oh, where did I? A picture of that.
Yep.
And where did you get these? These are
right there on that.
wow, so cool. Oh, I'm listening to her. She's talking about man.
Listening to a podcast or something.
So how many people have you interviewed today?
We just got.
Oh, that is
Less
so
than an
cool.
hour
You
ago.
guys are gonna have some stories.
Oh, it'll be fun.
Great idea.
And we're live on.
Or put it on.
Oh, that's a good
Oh, that'd
idea.
be great.
Yeah, I should put it on the board. Yeah, I'll do the writing.
They can see themselves. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Dry erase.
What didn't?
Because you were talking about randomness.
Yeah.
You're choosing random. So for me, gaming dice define randomness.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I actually bring those out when I start talking about random.
Yes.
Am I getting the slashes in the right direction?
Those are in the right direction. Are you ambidextrous?
Yeah.
I see that. I mean, I felt that. The left side of your. What is the thing with melting iron? And do you do that?
Do I melt iron?
Steel. What is that with fire? Steelsmith, like Smith, blacksmith. Are they in your family?
I think what you might be referring to would be my juggling ball. Maybe I would. Sure. Lesson. Yes.
Whoa! Oh my god! Yes.
And I made those.
Is he?
Here, I'm gonna try that again. Because that sucked. That really sucked.
These ground you.
Okay. I got it. All right. https://tripdub.youtube.com. There you go. There you go.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Dang. He's doing a juggling lesson.
Mills back. Yes. And I'll tell you, juggling is what makes me ambidextrous.
Yeah.
I wasn't, practical sense, ambidextrous. I mean, only some. But now I can write. Now, understand, my writing is 3rd grade with my left hand.
Yeah.
But it's legible.
Yes.
Yeah. And I can use chopsticks with either hand.
Yeah. And it's telling me that you have your humanity.
Okay.
And it creates a balance because the union.
Many years.
So it's still a Merkaba star. Yeah.
Merkaba.
Yeah.
I got it. And that's a 6
Yeah.
star date.
Yeah. And it's a body.
I was Jewish.
Oh. Oh my God.
It was the I had before.
Really? Oh, the arcing.
Okay.
Fighting it.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That when that's
Yeah. That's the channel live on.
yeah.
Oh, got that fold. I gotta not do that fold thing. Okay. Yes? Okay.
It's just juggling lessons.
Yeah. It's the YouTube address. So we should just type it youtube.com/user/juggling. I accept. I'm gonna rewrite this.
You also
Oh, you want me to QR code with a Sharpie? No, not gonna.
I don't think you need
Oh,
user
you-
either.
That's interesting. Would somebody try that, please? See if that works. And then I'll wait to type it until. Yeah, those. Wow, awesome. We are live streaming now. We are on an open live stream. We've been up for about an hour, hour and a half. We are on YouTube. YouTube.com. Yeah.
We have
Kind of a mask. That'll work great. And the topic can be anything that you like, especially if it's a belief that it changes any of your actions. I mean, if you believe that water is 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, that probably doesn't affect your actions unless you're a chemist. Yeah, politics. Heck, physics. Anything. Yes. All right. Ah,
So I made it this far.
excellent.
I'm from Altadena.
Uh-huh.
Juan. John.
Okay.
My last name is Portuguese for rock. Rocha.
Ah.
Rocha.
Uh-huh.
It's rock. Did you know that French and Portuguese are Italian dialect?
That sounds reasonable.
French is known as Corsica,
Okay.
from Corsica. Portuguese is known as Napolitano.
Okay.
I learned that this past.
Juan. Yeah. I think that's yes. Uh-huh.
Where is he at? Who's
FK is in North Macedonia.
Who?
FK is my producer.
Yeah.
He's the one you can hear through the headphones, and he's in North Macedonia. Hello, and I'm going to adjust this camera up. I bet Juan can hear me, right? You hear me okay here?
Yeah, I hear everybody.
Good, good. All right, Juan. You want to talk about homelessness? What do you believe about homelessness?
Well, I was homeless 11 years in Los
sorry to
Angeles
hear that.
County.
Uh-huh.
I was brought up here in Altadena in an orphanage called 5 Acres.
Okay.
So basically, John and Freddie Woodbury, the White Woodbury brothers, owned the town of Altadena, and they're responsible for bringing blacks from New York to, and they own an orphanage called the Children's Aid Society.
Okay.
And they bought 5 acres and on Mountain View Road and right off the JPL. That
Okay.
big old curvature goes north, east of, sort of like a southeast of JPL, or probably northeast.
Uh-huh.
Is a big cliff and mountain.
Okay. I've turned you up 5 decibels.
Where is Macedonia?
Near Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rome time. 9 hours from here.
Yeah. Asian, Egyptian, Israeli, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Mexican, American, and English.
Ah. Do you have to keep that on a card to remember it?
No, I got it
That's a lot.
memorized. But I learned the dialects of Italy: Umbria, Calabria, Genovese, Milano, Toscano, Siciliano, Magagiano. There's Veneto, Milano, Romano, which is Roman. I speak Castellano, which is Castilian, which is Spanish.
Yeah.
I speak the broken British, it's the American English, the Southern
Yes.
and
Broken
California.
British. I like that.
Yeah. This
I'm
year I'm
sadly only
44.
capable of that.
This year I'm 44, like a 44 Magnum. But yeah, I was homeless and I got into this program, an application that started in 2007.
Okay.
Now you can get a brand new apartment for $46 a month on an EBT card.
Okay.
And it's called Housing for Health. And it's under the social worker system of the county hospital system here in Los Angeles. I've been housed about 4 years. It was way before COVID. Anybody ever thought about COVID? And being homeless and stuff, it's like, you find stuff, always constantly recycling. People doing a lot of recycling bottles and cans.
Okay.
That's what I was doing. And I would always stay with my aunt in Oxnard, Ventura. And you go through life and you don't understand what you're about to find, the next day or the next year, week.
I mean, while homeless, you're just going through life. Can't count on things.
Yeah. Life here in the world that we live in is expensive. It's not like it used to be when I was born in 1976 or when I was conceived in 75 or maybe when you were born, because the steak cost $2 back then and a Coke was like 5 cents.
Right.
I remember in '82 I was at Universal Studio City, and I was able to buy some soda for a cup of soda for 10 cents.
Okay.
The prices were low even in '82.
Yeah.
In Altadena, you're able to buy a house for $45,000 in 1978, 79. Even a one bedroom in West Covina for $12,000. Like back when I was, 3 years old.
Proportionate to wages, what's that like? The math. I mean, I'm assuming dollars then, dollars now. Very different amount of time to earn that.
I know. Back then, it was a lot of money. It seemed like it was.
Yeah.
Does he have a question for you?
I have a question. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking for a claim. Insert something like about what we should do about home, or
what I
it's
found
a claim
out
about the world, something you believe that affects your choices.
What I found out was that Barack Obama, before he left office, he issued a bond to end homelessness in America, United States, and it was $650 billion. But are they taking the money? Are the higher ups, the people in the governor's office, are they taking the money and using it for vacation? Like they said, I had applied for housing, a voucher in Upland, and they said, we're discontinuing your search for a voucher. That's it. They sent me a letter, an envelope letter in the mail. Wow, what's this about? I didn't. Then you read in the newspaper, and it's like they say that the people in the higher ups, I don't know if it's district people or maybe somebody in the governor's office, that they said, oh, they use the money for vacation, so any of the funding going towards building projects, houses, apartments is being used for different items. People, they're supposed to use it the way the law says to use it.
Yeah, that would be fiduciary responsibility.
Fiduciary. I was just gonna say that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I studied a lot about commerce, and I studied a lot about what could be possibly going on behind the scenes in the government. And
I have a question from the audience. Do you currently stable housing?
yeah,
I don't want to be too personal. If there's any of these questions that we get personal about, and you don't want to, just totally find it.
I have stable housing, but there are convicts and felons that live in my building, and it's like nothing. They're putting convicts and felons with regular homeless people. I receive threats, but I'm not issuing no names. I'm not. Whatever the beef was, it's all been squashed, and I live with convicts and felons, and I've been locked up as a 22 years ago when I was 22.
Okay.
I've been locked up in the jail system as well, so I know what it is to live in jail, and I know what it is to keep to myself. And I had to learn other things, maybe from this convict, but I'm not just one convict that I know. Whatever, anything has occurred concurrently, I don't know anything about it. I went to Las Vegas to go gamble. I was living in Las Vegas after I got housed. I got brand new kitchens, ovens, stoves, refrigerators, $1,000 free furniture, recessing lights, and a brand new $24 million building. It's in Van Nuys, but I'm not going to give location.
No. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm like, real close to North Hollywood, and like Van Nuys has its own airport. These fires have been going on. They're storing two, I think they're called super scoopers.
Okay.
Helicopters at Van Nuys Airport. And I do pay attention a lot to KFI and KNX and 70 AM radio and AM 640 KFI.
Okay.
That they're allowing the smoke to billow to cover the sun because they were saying that I heard it in a Dollar Tree store in El Monte that they're covering. They let the smoke billow overnight and during the day to cover the sun because the sun was hitting the earth too hard.
All right. So intentionally managing the fires to cool the surface
of the
by
earth,
including the sun.
We had a whopping 130 degrees, which was never done. It's never been done by God or natural, air that we breathe.
Okay.
It was 130 degrees. Like
I remember seeing
like last month.
That peak 130 degrees in the valley somewhere.
Yeah, some guy died.
Yeah.
He was wearing a trench coat. What's so sad is that he was living in a Toyota 4Runner. And he parked in at a restaurant close to my apartment. Black guy, looked like Kimbo Slice, the wrestler, the UFC wrestler.
I'm not
large
familiar,
black beard.
Okay.
He's probably taller than maybe Kimbo Slice, about the same height. Someone called the tow truck or the police, and they had his 4Runner towed away. It was a beautiful black 4Runner, and he decided to sleep at this bus bench at this McDonald's.
Okay.
For 3 years. But then when that heat came, that's that Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Like a friend in my building, a neighbor on the 4th floor, said he went to go assist him because he was going in and out. And they found him slumped over the next morning.
So
on the bus bench, he was already passed, and
he died on the bus bench.
Yeah.
Okay, from the heat.
From the heat.
Probably.
He would always wear this trench coat, no matter if it was hot weather or not. I don't understand why he did that, but that's the way he decided to go. And another neighbor on my floor said he could have did a lot of other things other than just to be in that situation. And I referred him to the program, that I'm in, and
Yeah.
he didn't really pay attention.
Why do you think he didn't choose the program? Is there things that the program
I
requires
think
you
that
to do that he didn't want to jump
his
through hoops?
mentality was not there. He's probably in his 60s, maybe 50s.
Huh. Yeah.
We don't know what goes on in someone's head,
Right. And mostly I have to take their word for it. And I know that sometimes I don't know what's going on in my head correctly. I look back and I go, I don't think I was correct, and I'm not sure what correct was. So while I'll take your word for what goes on in your head, I won't be certain you're right. Any more than I'm certain I'm right.
What do you think about what I've told you so far?
I'm really very happy that there is a program dealing with your need, and that it is accessible and not ruinously difficult to access. I've seen some of these programs that they're put on paperwork. You got to get a lawyer, and you got to this, you got to that. It seems like in that case you're offering help and they keep pulling it away.
What do you mean by you have to get a lawyer?
For things like getting disability.
What's that again?
For things like getting disability.
Oh, getting SSI and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did that in the 90s, in the epitome of something that was good at the time.
Okay.
Today, I think they owe me like $80,000 in back pay. Dad's
Uh-huh.
a friend, an acquaintance, helped me with a law firm, which they referred me to someone else, and that other law firm is willing to take my case, but I need one piece of paper. But right now that COVID is happening, I asked Social Security for that piece of paper, and everybody's functioning from their house. There's no one at the Social Security Administration building. So I can't even get that paper. And I need to go to court to get that.
Wow.
COVID has stopped a lot of things.
It really has. It's been it's amazing how things get all slammed up. I think these systems are put in place, like having a piece of paper. I think we know that the paper is not the issue. It's the agreement about what's on it. A copy of the paper would be just as good, that kind of thing. And we get stuck on the idea of it's this piece of paper makes a difference, as opposed to these people agree that these facts are true.
Before COVID started, I did go to the Social Security Administration building in Pasadena because, see, my grandmother found me at the orphanage. She had 22 properties and a $2 million house in South Hills, West Covina.
Okay.
So she pulled me out of the orphanage and taught me Spanish. She owned a demolition construction company with my aunt. Taught me what it was to work hard. And now I'm 30 years demolition, 2 years construction, 28 years in electronics, 18 years in computers and cell phone. I'm computer tech and cell phone. My Cadillac's down there, and I have a BMW parked at my friend's restaurant. But I'm just somebody who's just, not scraping by. I do collectibles. I don't know if you ever heard of Frankenson's collectible show. I think that one's got a YouTube channel too.
Okay.
It's in the city of industry. I do boombox radios in the 70s and 80s, 90s. Stereos from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I got these put away in my storage in Alhambra. I got out storage in it. And in my apartment. One time summer of last year when I came back from Vegas, I had a car that left me stranded out there. I had an 03 Camry that the engine froze. And I came back and I found like maybe $10 in quarters in a church bag that gives you a Bible, some water, and some snacks or whatever. And
we only have water.
A week after that, I found...
Did you bring the Bible? No, sorry, we didn't bring any Bibles. Only water.
I know. What I said was that when I came back from Las Vegas, I found these things in a bag in South
Yeah.
Pasadena on the
Oh, I
curb.
see.
It was some water,
Okay, so
some
this wasn't.
quarters to do your laundry. It
I
was a
see.
church bag that somebody left on the ground,
I see.
and it was a gift bag from one of these churches
Okay, so
probably
I
in
did
South
understand correctly.
Pasadena.
Cool.
I don't know what church program
really good.
offers you it, but it's like $9 to $10 in quarters to do your laundry. They give you a Bible, some water, some snacks in a bag,
Uh-huh.
kind of like a reusable grocery
Sure.
bag. Yeah. And then 2 weeks after that, I found all these silver Chinese coins in these cardboard boxes on Colorado, Pasadena. And just in time for the Gold and Silver Coin Show down in Long Beach Convention Center.
Okay.
And I found some guy and I sold to him for $3,000 when I should have waited there and sold them to this Chinese guy that flew in from Texas. He would have gave me $10,000. But anyways, by that, so it was September 5th, 6th, and 7th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I needed a car, and so September 5th, I so he gave me his business card, and then by that Monday,
Thank you.
by that Monday, I texted him, and he bought all my coins from that white guy for like $15,000, ungraded. They weren't coins weren't graded, but he gave $15,000 for my coins.
Wow. Helicopter.
Huh?
We have a helicopter. That's okay.
Sounds like a jet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's that kind of engine.
So I'm really like looking for, like this year I found a China doll, I found a Chinese jewelry box, a piece of ivory that has a dragon on it, Chinese. And a little bit more Hong Kong coins, but not the same as like I did last year. I need to get the proper micro SD card on my cell phone, send it to this guy, the pictures of everything I have. And he might buy them from me, I don't know. But I'm one of these guys that just finds money. That's probably my cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my Patrick.
Okay.
No,
Do you want to take a break?
I won't take it. I'm
Okay.
good. I'm good.
All right.
He pays me $10 in cash, but I fill up 10 gallons of fuel for him. He was in a motel for COVID because they give homeless people a motel for COVID.
Okay.
And he got kicked out. He probably wasn't turning himself in. They have a special curfew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me shut the phone off
Uh-huh.
because I know you're doing this.
It's okay if you take a break and take your call.
No. I'll turn it off.
Okay.
He wants me to go to his car, get all these. He builds bikes with motors on them.
Okay.
And he wants me to go to his car and pick up a 5-gallon plastic red gasoline tank.
Okay.
With another 5 more smaller little gallon.
Uh-huh.
And then I go to Arco and then
fill them up.
Yeah, I fill
Bring
them
them
up
to
and
fuel.
take them back,
Sure,
and
sure.
I get $10. I guess he filed for that EDD money.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of fraud going on. KNX is talking about it all the time.
What is this fraud with the EDD money?
Well, people are digging up people's graves, their first and last names at the graveyards.
So they're doing identity theft or portraying
This
themselves
is
as
what I'm
somebody else.
hearing, and
Yeah.
they're filing for $3 million, $1 million for their businesses. They're getting the money, but they're getting locked up. They're getting caught.
Oh, okay. So they are fraudulently making a request for a development loan for a business that they don't own. They are not actually the person, kind of thing.
Yeah. And they're also like hackers. There's people going in the EDD website and doing a lot of hacking.
Yeah. So they're cheating. They're cheating a system.
You think about that, that wasn't happening in the 80s, was it?
Yes, but at a different level. And my information is that back in that time, I was a computer programmer.
Oh.
And back in the 80s, it was before the internet was widespread. And we had a very different idea about security. And our idea about security was to keep the doors locked and to trust everybody inside the doors, which means inside jobs really could be done by anybody with enough technical knowledge. They mostly had access. It wasn't until later that most companies started to realize they needed to take security more serious.
I had an apartment manager. Remember, I'm Skid Row housing, apartment side. So basically, it's a program where if any of the poor people that are in Skid Row in LA, when they graduate their programs, and they can move in an apartment. This is after SRO, which is single room occupancy. And I surpassed all those people just by doing the application, doing it a different way. And we had an apartment manager that was temporary.
Yeah.
She said she worked at Disneyland as one of the security guards for Disneyland. She said that somewhere in the 80s and 90s, like there was Russians staying in the Disneyland Resort Hotel. And she said that she was checking them out. They would pay with credit cards, I believe, that didn't belong to them. And they were plotting probably bombing or what they were doing.
How would we? Or is that just
my apartment manager was security for Disneyland at the that's what she told me when she was working for security for Disneyland. She found out that there was some Russians staying in the hotel with credit cards that didn't belong to them.
Yeah.
And plotting different, like bombing, maybe. I don't know if it was bombing. But
yeah. I got a
plotting
relative
different
who
crime.
works for Disney security.
Huh?
I've got a relative who works for Disney security.
Oh yeah. That's what she told me.
Yeah.
What do you find? What are they finding out today? What did your relative tell you any stories?
She hasn't told me any stories like that. She tells me lots of stories, but nothing to the order of, wow, there's some people plotting to do bad things. Mostly, I think the story she tells me is that people have bad attitudes being asked, give up things that could be weapons. Trying to get into the park with things that are on a prohibited list.
Yeah.
And having a bad attitude about it when you say, nope, you can't come into the park with that.
How long is your live?
Oh, my live will probably go on for maybe 2 or 3 more hours. This is our first setup here since March. So we're working out the bugs a bit. It's working pretty well. It seems like right now it's happening. I'm laughing. The audience said doing SE with Juan would be interesting. If only we had an SEer around. Yes, that's true. We haven't really been doing SE. The street epistemology thing. Mostly, I've just been listening, asking you about your story.
What is street epistemology?
Street epistemology is where the interlocutor, that's you, makes a claim, something about the world they believe. So far, we've had it's important to have a positive attitude. Another one says the law of attraction is very powerful.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Are a lot of millennials into this?
Into street epistemology?
Yeah.
I do know several young people in the group. Right now, we're on a Discord that has just under 4,000 members, and I I'm going to guess that a good fraction are
What were you doing back when? You're not Dr. Demento, are you?
no.
Oh, what were you doing back in the day when Dr. Demento was on cable?
Junior high school.
Oh.
Yeah, I got into Dr. Demento in junior high school. I don't think he was new at the time. I think he'd been already on the air for 5 or 10 years by that point.
And Wolfman Jack. And,
Yeah.
and
I never much listened to Wolfman Jack. I was familiar with him.
he was on
But Dr.
KRS, right?
Demento, maybe.
Uh,
I don't remember what stations I was listening to at the time.
am I closer to your age? Because I
I'm
believe
54. You're 44. We're just 10 years apart.
Oh. Hmm. I was 8. Oh, you were 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good time back then.
Yeah, you're pretty close to Kimberly's age.
Oh, she's still older than me too, huh?
2 years.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah, I bet you're older than Gwen,
Oh, I believe so too.
but he hasn't said so yet. He hasn't told me. And I'm no need to ask. It's all good.
So what does epistemology stand for? What does that mean?
Epistemology is the study of how we come to learn.
Oh.
If you give me a new fact about the world,
Did I teach you anything today?
you taught me important things about what the security, what the public support is in this area regarding homeless folks. You've taught me about scavenging, finding things and being able to sell them. You've taught me that in some cases you thought you were too quick to sell something because you'd have been better off to sell it to the guy they sold it to if you'd have had the option.
And my friend is
You taught me about languages.
what's so crazy is that my friend retired from Bond's Union for 42 years. So when I was 42, about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, he told me, he said, you need to find a Chinese person to buy those coins.
Huh.
And I didn't listen.
Okay.
That's what happens when you're, like you say, Discord. You're not really in tune with reality.
Discord is the somewhat tongue-in-cheek name for the platform that we're chatting on. We're on YouTube, and we're actually in a room that's on Discord, and there's several people in the room that are watching us that are chatting back and forth.
But Discord has different meanings as well, as far as the British
it's like
tongue.
discordant, yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And
We
it's a
know
play
that.
on words that they would say Discord because it's a place where people come to communicate.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can manage to avoid Discord.
Yeah.
In street epistemology, we're very much trying to avoid the conflict that happens in communication and instead find the way to have a good conversation, even across lines. I'm not saying that we're necessarily across lines, but I want to be able to speak to anybody from any extreme and be able to have a productive conversation.
Right.
Yeah. And oftentimes that's about a claim, but there's a couple other ways. Like I could ask you questions about how you see truth. That, for example, here. I haven't opened this. I have not counted it. Would you agree with me that there is an even or an odd number?
Yes.
Okay. And if she were to say it was even, he were to say it was odd, one of them would be wrong.
Right.
Okay. That one was fast. We have a lot of people who don't agree with that because they say, well, there's no wrong or right. And that's one of the things about epistemology.
What are these things?
If you have a claim, you could say these are just a scale of confidence. Like if you ask me if the earth was round, I would say my confidence is just an absolute sliver from absolute certain.
This reminds me sort of when I was in the orphanage as a kid. And they would have this little booklet. And it was a psychological thing where like, they would flip the page and there would be these ink blots. And can you tell me what this looks like? and I tell them, oh, it looks like a butterfly. You remember those things? Those ink blot.
Oh, you're like a Rorschach test, where you take the ink, you fold it together so it gains symmetry,
Yeah.
and then you look for uh, recognizable patterns within the symmetrical randomness.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, in the orphanage, they had these booklets and tell the little kids in the 80s, what does this look like? What does that look like? They flip the pages.
Yeah.
This sort of is like, gives me some kind of...
Yeah, our logo is a bit like that. It's very symmetric. And then this is just confidence scale, which is really, I think, the main goal about street epistemology is when I have a claim, if I made the claim, oh, I'm just going to pick something silly. Copyright for too long, and it's suppressing music. You could then ask me the reasons I believe so, and how I came to that conclusion, and what my confidence is. And then we could look and see if my confidence is justified given my reasons. And maybe my confidence is too high or too low. I think a lot of times people will have a claim, and when they've talked to somebody about it, the other person will try to convince them to their side. And they won't so much be talking about the first claim, but they'll be talking about the new position and whether to accept or reject it. And then if I were to reject that position, I might have this bad habit of increasing my confidence in my claim because look, it survived a challenge, defeated that position, but we never examined my claim. So it would be improper for me to increase my confidence on my claim in that case. So that's the kind of thing we're doing.
This reminds me of puzzles.
Yeah. And for that, we have puzzle pieces. You could have red, yellow, or blue, and these fit together. And these are gifts we give out as an obvious bribe to make you come back for more conversations.
Did you like Dr. Demento back in the day?
I did. I liked Dr. Demento so much, I gave one of my children the middle name Barrett, named after Barrett Hopkins.
Did he have was that Dr. Demento?
Yeah.
He had a studio underneath the church in Pasadena?
That wouldn't surprise me. I never knew very much about the background of the show. I was very into the kind of music that was the parody. I really enjoy parody music. I really enjoy Weird Al Yankovic.
Like Fish Heads and all that?
Yeah.
Did you like that song?
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads. Fish heads,
Eat them up.
Yum. Yeah, Billy Mooney.
What's that thing there?
Which thing?
The black thing with the two red things.
Oh, that is a holder for a cell phone camera, or for a cell phone, because we were using a third shot. We were trying out, like for instance, right now, if you see this screen, you'll see that we are each on a camera.
Yeah.
And then there was a third camera off to the side, so you could see the wider perspective. And Quinn that's on Quinn's phone, and we're playing around with it between shots. Right now, there's no phone yet. Hey, it was hanging out in the sun, and that phone overheated.
Is she your significant other?
Yes, she is one of them. This is one of my wives.
You live in Montana.
No, I have another wife and a husband. She's off at work, and he just dropped us off.
No.
So I'm in one of those weird, very liberal relationships. Yes, intentional planned family, it really says.
How many subscribers you got?
Probably approaching 200.
200?
We're about 2 months old as a channel.
Wow.
Now I've been doing this kind of thing starting January with another friend of mine, Reid Nicewonder, who's got the channel CordialCuriosity. And he's got about 13,000 subscribers. And in fact, this is his table.
Is it true that
My microphone, his table, his board. He loaned me his equipment.
Is it true that Well, my friend Anthony said that if you get 20,000 subscribers, YouTube will start paying you $10,000 per month, I think. Did you hear anything about that?
Okay. By the way, Reid reports that I have 179 subscribers right now, and
That's great.
I
More power
think,
to you.
yeah,
I like your
as
show.
far as how much money, I think it's actually a very small amount, but yeah, you have to get up to several thousand before it even gets to pennies.
But I'm hearing my friend Anthony said he wanted to get a YouTube channel going, and he said
It doesn't cost anything other than the.
He said once you get 20,000 subscribers, YouTube will pay you 10,000 a month. I think that's what he said.
I will ask. I have a friend who's got 54,000 subscribers.
Okay.
And we could ask him.
But you gotta what? Email him or I am him.
I will actually ask somebody in the live show to ask Anthony if he's available. If he can say whether it is true. I don't want him to say actually how much he necessarily gets, but whether it's a lot more or a lot less than 10,000 there. By the way, Reid says, who has a channel with 13,000 subscribers, says criteria for YouTube partnership: have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 valid public watch hours, and then based on watch time you can get paid. As far as how much, though, I understand it's a very small amount until you get into, say, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't actually know what the numbers are.
That's true.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I got a guy that I'm subscribed to, and he stands for civil rights, a guy named Jose. And his YouTube channel is SGV.
Okay.
It's first.
SJV?
San Gabriel Valley's SGV.
Oh, SGV.
First, I think. And he likes to go with his camera to where the police are that are just resting there and tells them. No, Jose's cool though.
The sun and the wind have conspired to put me in the sun.
Jose's cool based on, I like his show. He's really funny. He'll go to a factory and stand just right.
Oh yes.
He'll stand right there just at the sidewalk. And start filming inside. As far as what the eye can see, the law says you can film as far as what the eye can see
from a public location. Okay.
And then the main CEOs, the managers come out of the factory. And, what are you doing filming here? You're not supposed to be doing that. And then they call the police or the sheriff, and they come around and like, oh yeah, we know this guy. He has a YouTube channel. He's doing that just show what civil rights are about or the law is about, things like that.
So somebody just asked, are there other people waiting? No, there's nobody waiting. You can be you can see there's no lions waiting. By the way, I got an answer from Reid on it's 18 cents per view or $18 per 1,000 views. Once you've got to that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Cool. Quinn says he can't hear anything.
Is that the guy in Macedonia?
No, Quinn is right here.
Oh,
that's Quinn.
You're good.
Good, I'm glad. And for some reason, my show has. Okay, there we go. I can see me again.
They can see me.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Okay, so let me see. Is that turning the volume down on that device? Am I hitting the right button?
No. You're probably raising the volume. There it goes.
Is that down?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me know when it's all the way down.
It's not going all the way down.
Yeah, it doesn't go. Okay. All right, that's fine.
It stops where it stops about right there. That point.
All right, good enough. What's happening is because we're going through the mixer, we're both going in and out of my audio on this camera. Yes, good. Okay.
The guy in Macedonia, like, how'd you find him?
He found me. I went to the Street Epistemology Discord, which is actually where we're meeting right now. It's just a Discord server, and we're in a voice chat room. And we started talking just in general chat rooms about the plans for this channel, and FK volunteered himself. And FK is the brains behind this thing and all the technical that makes any of this work. Except, there we go. Yeah, FK is amazing.
What does he do on his side?
He's a computer tech, and what he's doing right now is his computer is looking at the Discord room, looking at our video feeds, and then puts it in this window where you see Street Epistemology down here at the corner, and you see a little background of the trees that was taken earlier. And also, if I type a question like this, tang. And then I have a little button here that he set up for me that allows me to change things on the screen directly. So he's operating a computer there that is stitching together the show for us.
Guess where I was yesterday?
Yeah, it's real close. It's very hard. But yes.
It blasted in his ears?
It did.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
FK, are you there?
Yeah. Yeah.
FK, guess where I was yesterday?
I will guess, yeah, in Los Angeles County.
I was in Pasadena, but
okay.
I love to play Black Ops Call of Duty.
Okay.
I'm on season 10 on mobile.
Okay.
I was literally playing like in Italy, but they have these regional playoffs in Japan and in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's a cool military type of game.
Mm-hmm.
It's out in Italy with a guy named Micchiano.
Okay, so you were playing Call of Duty while you were in Pasadena with a fellow who was in Italy named Micchiano.
In Italy, yeah.
Okay. Were you playing against each other or as a team?
As a team.
Okay, and did you win?
Yeah, but
Yay!
we kept having some kind of a contest where like who'd get first place and who'd get second place.
Uh-huh.
And he usually win first place because he's going around with a knife and stabbing everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I have the sharpest gun. It's called a BK-57.
I think sharpness helps in knives.
What's that?
You said you have the sharpest gun. I think sharpness helps in knives. Maybe
Yeah.
that's a bayonet on the end of the thing.
Yeah.
I'm being intentionally, literally silly.
He goes around and stabs everybody in the game. And I go around and shoot everybody with a BK-57.
Okay.
Which is like probably like pointed bullets and could kill two people in one shot if they're standing right behind each other like this.
I see. So high penetration.
Yeah, and a BK-57 is a real assault gun too, I believe.
I've heard of the AK-57. Wait, AK-47. So a
Yeah.
BK-57 would be a letter up and a 10 up.
Yeah.
From that. Okay.
And any of your viewers?
Yep. Done.
Any of your viewers play Black Ops?
We could ask them. Anybody in the Discord familiar with playing Black Ops? unmuted the room so they can actually answer you. If you want to unmute, you can talk to him directly. And Rich says, nope, I don't. But there's several.
I feel too
Fine
violent.
Onion says, go ahead.
Who was it?
I don't know. I think they were afraid of stepping on me. Go ahead, speak up. Wait, just what is the claim for the question? Well, there isn't actually a claim at this point. Juan was telling us a lot about his life and hasn't made a claim that we've been testing. So this is a lot of rapport and interesting conversation, learning what it's like to be in Pasadena and homeless some of the time. And
Well, when I was
the
homeless,
system has.
I was a squatter.
Mm-hmm.
I had squatted in a property that was already sold
Mm-hmm.
to Chinese guys worth $2 billion.
Uh-huh.
He's one of China's #1 traveling agencies.
Okay.
What I found out. I'm not gonna give out no names.
Good. Thank you.
And
We don't want
I
to
met
dox
him.
you or anybody else.
I met him. He bought the property from a Jewish company,
Uh-huh.
but the building used to belong to the Pacific Stock Exchange,
Uh-huh.
and it closed in 1986, which was California's stock exchange. People don't know that California had a stock exchange. Is that a good topic?
It's a claim about history, so it's just easy to accept.
Did you know California had its own stock exchange?
I seem to remember something about that, but I know very little about it.
Well, it was here in Pasadena in a building somewhere.
Okay. So there was a West Coast
It was
stock
called
exchange.
the Pacific Stock Exchange.
Pacific Stock Exchange. That
Yeah.
makes sense. That's very Pacific-y. That makes sense. Yeah. So maybe I'd like to try something else with you, depending on if you have time for it. We have a survey of 24 questions.
All right.
And I would love to hear your opinion, whether you agree, disagree. FK, is there an easy way to show this? Am I asking for something crazy? Anyway, my memory is the first question is, yeah, I will roll with it. The first question that I remember is, truth is that which corresponds with external reality. Do you agree that truth is, the way you check truth is that it corresponds to external reality?
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So I'll take that as a strongly agree. What is the next question? I don't have those in a piece of paper in front of me. I see that FK is moving things around on the screen and going to show us. This is great. Yep. Reid responded, people experience the same reality and only interpret it differently. Yeah. Oh, I think that's the next question. Do you agree that people experience the same reality and only interpret it differently?
Yes, that's possible.
Okay, very good. Somebody's typing. Oh, look at the whole thing here. All right. The third one. Whoa, okay. Truth depends on the opinions and beliefs. Okay. If people change their opinion, does truth change?
Wait, what was the first one again? Truth.
The first is truth is that which best matches external reality. Can you see the screen here?
No.
Not really.
Question number 3.
Question number 3 is truth depends on the opinions and beliefs of people.
You can use the confidence scale as well.
Yeah, you could also use these scales if you want to say yay or nay, and we can transcribe it.
Well, I believe the way that the world is that mankind has made a different types of path.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone believes in a certain path,
Mm-hmm.
then they have the right to their opinion too.
Okay. So people have the right to their own beliefs, to their own path, to
Yeah.
their own assumption. Does that make their path true, or their beliefs about that path true?
According to them, it would be.
Okay. So that's maybe a different kind of truth than was in the first question. The external reality truth.
External reality truths just all depends on the topic you're talking about.
Okay.
Could be millions.
We'll come back to this one. So number 4, people create words and define their meaning.
Now, are we talking about Oxford College creating words every day?
If I call this
Spain?
a jar, was that word jar made by people? Did
Yeah.
people make up that word? Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any words that were made up by not people?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I can't think of any examples either. All right. Something is true if everyone agrees to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Back at some time in history, I'm not sure when, the general opinion was that the Earth was flat. Was that true then?
For some people,
Okay.
they believe that that was the truth.
Very good. Number 6, strong belief, even without action, change external reality.
Yes.
All right. Some beliefs should not be questioned.
False. No.
Okay, so there are no beliefs
Huh?
that are so if you say there are not any beliefs that should be questioned, is that correct? What you mean?
I'm saying that are there many beliefs that should be questioned? Yeah.
Okay. Are there any beliefs that shouldn't be questioned?
No.
Okay. Number 8, someone can be certain of something, yet still be mistaken.
True.
Okay. Audience wants examples? Okay. Oh, okay, yes. They ask, what would an example be of a belief that should not be questioned? Oh, there are no beliefs that should not be questioned.
Right.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood that. My bad. I misheard it. Number 6. It was strong belief even without action. Okay, so the question was about number 6. All right. And that was strong belief even without action can change external reality. Can you give us an example of a belief that can change external reality, even if you don't do anything about the belief?
As far as um, this just depends on different topics, basically.
Okay.
Repeat the question again.
The question is, strong belief, even without action, can change external reality.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be a strong belief that could change external reality?
For example, Moses and God, when Moses was in contact with God and he
Okay.
had a firm belief.
So it was
God would-
Moses' belief that made the action?
Well, he did put action to his words too.
Yeah, he did. So there was some action there.
What's that?
And so there was some action there beyond just
Yeah.
the belief. Okay. So,
But
all right.
the Lord also says in the Bible, it says, like the grain of a mustard, if you have a stronger willpower, faith to
Okay.
God above, you can move mountains.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I grew up in a Christian fundamentalist missionary school for the first 20 years of my life.
Well, I have a doctorate of ministry in my church since
Cool.
98, 22 years already.
Cool. Which church is that?
It's in Bell Gardens,
Okay. Is this
Pentecostal.
okay, Pentecostal church. Got it. Yep. Familiar with those. Question number 9. It is bad when someone doubts their beliefs.
Is it bad?
Is it
when
bad
they
if someone
doubt their beliefs?
Yeah.
It might be confusing.
Okay.
I don't know about being bad, depending on the situation that they're in.
Okay. Can you think of an example where someone could believe a thing and that it would be bad for them to doubt it?
Shooting a basketball in a hoop.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way where you can just, abruptly shoot it without thinking.
Okay.
If you have a bad belief about not making it in, that's gonna confuse you and stall you. You might end up messing up,
I see. So doubting your ability to make a shot in basketball could cause you to miss the shot because you overthink it. You get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
That's a good example. I like that. Is that a belief about you shooting the basketball, or is that a method?
Well,
is that doubt that is the issue?
I say college and MBA, that's all they live for. That's what they live with their faith at home, but they live in their faith of their shooting. That's what brings home the bread,
Yep. Number 10. If all members of a society share a belief, they are justified to hold that belief.
Yeah. I remember James Warden, 1978.
What did he say?
You know who James Warden is?
I think I don't.
Jonestown, Jim Jones.
Oh.
So they all believed
Yes.
that they would go to heaven.
Oh my.
And he gave them
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid or the...
Yeah, I think that's what we mean when we say drink the Kool-Aid, don't we? I think that's where that idiom came from. Okay, so were they justified to believe?
They were justified to believe that they would go to heaven, but only the Lord will come back in the end to see who was more faithful to him. Huh?
Do you think they were correct?
According to my faith, they weren't correct.
Okay. Very good. Believing something that is false feels just like believing something that is true.
I think it's a tie.
Okay, so believing false things feels just like it, just like true. They're equal.
If you believe to your heart, that something is false, whether you're right or wrong, you're truly believing in that. If you believe in something that's totally true, then that's with your heart as well. But the thing is the question is, what topic are we talking about? These are all just,
Oh, well, if
you know, these
does
are
it
all
matter,
just,
does it matter which category it's in?
these are all just the same main,
They almost are.
they're all
This
just
is
the same
24 ways
question.
of looking at truth and belief. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. They're just 24 angles on the same idea.
Yep.
Yeah. So the category matters? What category of belief it is?
Sure.
Okay.
I
Which
mean,
category is
It
handled
could
which way?
possibly, yeah.
What would be an example of one thing in one category and something in the opposite category?
Same thing like Jonestown.
So Jonestown was a bad belief to hold.
Yeah.
And what made it a bad belief?
Because they were dealing with a complete idiot, a druggie, somebody who was
Okay.
hooked on drugs.
So the source of the information made it should have made it obvious
Yeah.
to them that he was incorrect. What if they didn't know about his drug use?
Well, they should have known that when they went down to Guyana and his security guards came back with tractors and shotguns and they killed the governor. Was it the governor? Who did they kill? The guy that from the government?
I was
The
young when it
congressman.
happened. I wasn't real clear about what happened.
And they killed the congressman.
Okay.
And there was a congressman.
So when they killed the congressman, the
And the
rest of
and
the
they
people
got
should
to
have
the
known.
reporter.
Okay.
He went down there in the air.
Okay.
Somebody passed a note. There was a kid that said the night before, when the congressman or whoever it was, senator, congressman, whatever it was, and he said, I could only take 15 people with me in the airplane.
Okay.
As a little kid, somebody passed a note to the congressman, said, we're all gonna die here, you too. And the little kid said, oh, somebody passed a note.
Uh-huh.
Their belief was with Jim Jones, and there was white people down there too, you know. And
Okay.
their belief was that, yeah, we're all gonna try and go to heaven. Yeah.
Did they know they were gonna die if they took the Kool-Aid?
They knew they were gonna, you know, that something was really gonna happen. As far as, because, you know, when he started to bring the VAT around, something called the VAT,
Okay.
and
If they just called it the punch bowl, it'd have been there was so much livelier.
you know
Just a
what's
big
so
party. I'm
what's
kidding.
so confusing is that the more modern news is saying that 700 of them took an injection in their arm.
I didn't know about that.
That's the more modern news about it. I don't know about that. We weren't there, so we didn't know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my understanding is
It was cyanide.
900 people
With
died.
cyanide and Kool-Aid. What was that other one? It was like Kool-Aid.
I don't know, but it obviously a sweet drink intended to mask the nastiness of something that poisoned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something in a punch bowl. Doesn't matter whether it's got fruit juice or not, right?
That's what happened. And
So does this tell
And
us? Go ahead.
my best friend's aunt and her children were in that one. But the new modern news is that you had to pay $2,000 a ticket to get on the airplane to go down there with them.
Okay. Is that unusual? I mean, that sounds expensive, but it's a
For
special flight.
2000?
Yeah, that seems like a lot of money, but
In
okay.
1978, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Does that tell us about believing something that is false feels just like believing something that is true? For them, did it feel like it was true?
Yeah, for them, they felt it was true, that they would go to heaven.
Can you think of any examples where believing something false, and when I mean believing, I don't mean just you're like, yeah, but you're pretty sure about it. Does it feel like does it always feel like it's true? Can you tell the difference?
It all depends on what topic you're talking about. As far as, are we going to the beach? There's water there. Are there crabs there like there used to be in the 80s? No.
Okay.
Remember when the little brown crabs would crawl up to you and you'd be able to grab them? Little white brown crabs?
Yeah.
You'd be lucky if you even find a little quarter piece of a shell now.
Yeah.
At the beach.
Yeah. I live on a boat in the marina most of the time, and I go diving and clean boat hulls. I see lots of little crabbies in the boat hull stuff.
The little white ones?
Yeah, they love to crawl on the undersides of boats.
But when you go just to Santa Monica,
yeah, I don't know about the beach.
they're gone.
I haven't seen
They're
them on
not
the
even
beach, I
there
agree.
anymore.
Yeah.
And the water was more bluer, right? There's been some oil that's been.
You know, I remember the water being different colors at different times, and I'm not sure if I can remember whether it was. And the thing is, I used to go only to the beach, and now I'm in a marina, so my view of the water is so different now than it used to be. I can't really compare. I usually see the water from underneath.
Yep.
So often.
What I'm talking about is just, there when you just go to the beach from the sand to the shore.
Okay. I'd like to move on to number 12. Feelings are a reliable way to discover truth.
For me, no.
Okay. Number 13. Believing something without evidence is admirable.
For me, no.
Okay. Is it important to know where we came from and what happens after death?
Yes.
Okay.
To me, yes.
All right. Number 15. Believing something that is false is okay if it gives you comfort.
For me, no.
Okay.
For others, it might comfort them. You want me to give you an example?
Sure.
I rented 100 cars between 2003 to 2005.
All at once? No, over 2 years.
In 2 years.
Uh-huh.
I had an apartment at Old Town with the old YMCA. It's called Centennial Place across the street from the City Hall in Pasadena. Enterprise, Hertz, Budget, Avis. I was in a new Chevrolet truck. And this white guy with his family was like, they looked at me. They're like, this is not real. We got this Mexican guy in a brand new truck that we've been trying to purchase, and we don't have the credit for it. And it's, oh, it's fake. It's fake. And they left. It's fake, fake. You understand? It comforts them to say that
they decided that it was fake, that you were in a truck they couldn't get.
Yeah. So they're like, it's fake. It's fake. Come on, let's leave. It's fake, fake.
Huh.
I understand that it was a rental truck, but I was in it.
Yeah.
You saw me in it. So the truth and the real reality and virtuality about it is that you saw me in the truck.
Yeah.
It's not fake.
Right.
Don't worry about how I financed it. I'm in it. Oh, it's fake, fake, fake. Let's leave. But I have nothing against that person.
Right.
I'm glad that they took the time and, to judge me.
I have a water.
Because then, sometimes you can see who wants to hide their real feelings about something.
Number 16. I give all claims the benefit of the doubt when I first encounter them.
All claims?
Yeah. Somebody comes to you with a claim you haven't ever heard of. Do you give it the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, explain.
Okay.
What kind of claim?
So somebody says, I think it is true that scientists with telescopes have found the gas phosphine in Venus's atmosphere. That would be a claim about reality.
So you, what am I trying to say? Are you trying to say I should believe it?
Well, would you be open to believing it if you were given the right kind of information?
Yeah.
Are there some kind of claims that somebody could make that you would just reject out of hand?
Well, I'm not really a scientist, so I don't even know any of those gases.
Okay.
But I could give it a thumbs up. But yeah, maybe that's possibly true.
Okay. So, do you give all claims the benefit of the doubt? Meaning, you don't reject them completely, you don't accept them completely, you wait.
Benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, benefit of the doubt. Good. All right. Number 17. Someone is justified in their beliefs until they are proven wrong.
Yeah. That could be possibly true.
Okay. Number 18. The most important criteria for my beliefs is that they match reality.
For me, yeah.
Okay. We're the last fourth. Yay! Almost done. Number 19. I often investigate beliefs that do not match my own.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me an example of a time you've investigated a belief that was different than your own? And what did you find out?
You do it all the time on YouTube, on the internet. Let's say you're fixing your BMW and you're doing an injector job, a spark plug job, and fuel pump job, and you want to see various videos on who found what in their BMW.
Okay.
And how they're teaching you how to fix it. And so this one guy has one thing he can provide, and the other guy didn't have that, but this guy did. So yeah.
I had yesterday, my friend sent me a video that showed me how to perform a job on a car that I didn't know anything about. And it turned out he was right, and it was fun. Number 20. I am comfortable with saying I don't know.
Yeah. I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. And then number 21. It is beneficial to find out when I am wrong about something.
Yeah.
Good. Number 22. I will abandon a belief if I discover reliable information that falsifies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And number 23, I look for more information before I accept something as true.
Yes.
Yes. And number 24, it is possible that some of my beliefs are not true.
I guess it depends on what topic.
Do you have a topic on which you are certain about your beliefs and you couldn't be wrong?
Yeah.
What's that topic? Is that okay to ask?
Yeah.
I would like to know what topic you are very certain about.
Just like, when you have the sun that rises and the sun that sets. That's really going on.
Okay.
There's so many different things that you can do in a day. But you got to take it one day at a time,
That's my husband that just went by in the van. Anyway.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. Well, it's her husband too. Anyway. I wonder why he went by.
Did you hear my answer? That was a pretty good answer, huh?
Whatever floats my boat?
No,
No,
about
before that. It's possible that some of my beliefs are true, and the sunrise and the sunset, those things are absolutely certain. You could not be wrong that the sun rises and the sun sets.
and that there's a lot of things to do in a day.
Mhm.
You got to take it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of things to do in a day, and you have to take it one day at a time.
As far as
Okay.
where you're concurrently at, and I understand you could do a lot of weekend planning, but you know, or yearly planning.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
that's
one
on
day
the
at a time isn't
business.
necessarily about
That's on the
24 hours.
business
It's sort
side.
of like just going along and being present. I understand.
Yeah,
Not literally 24 hours.
yeah. But relax, you know, that's what life is about.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
That's cool.
Don't let nobody rush you into something, you know.
Okay. Thank you for this conversation. I really enjoyed it.
So am I on point? Am I pretty good? Am I Batman down there at Hollywood and Highland?
I'm not sure that there's I'm not sure there are absolutely correct answers to this question. This is really so much a question of how you see truth. How do you approach reality and truth? And I'm happy to see you have a clear idea about much of it. I agree with you much of it. Let's see. Yes, I don't think I have. Does anybody in the audience have any questions before we and yes,
Is everybody
you can certainly ask
is
that
everybody in the audience in the United States?
question. No, the producer is in North Macedonia, which is like near Greece.
Yeah, well, besides him, he's your producer.
Uh,
Is everybody else in the United States?
okay. Reid says Florida. Rich says France. California. Argentina.
Wow.
Republic of California. Norway.
Wow. What did they?
Maryland.
What did they think? Was I okay?
Poland. Well, I invited anybody to see what they think about his answers to the survey. I wonder specifically if anybody has any one question that they found his answers the most surprising, perhaps.
This guy sounds like from Argentina.
He's from North Macedonia. And the thing is, he speaks 6 different languages before he gets to computer, and he grew up in Switzerland, so he's all scrambly poo.
Does he speak Spanish?
I think that's one of them. But
what was your question?
My question was, I wanted some elaboration on number 14, if you don't mind. And number 14 is, it is important to know where we come from and what happens after death.
To me, it is, yeah.
okay.
So, like I told you, I'm an Egyptian, Asian. I'm Israeli, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Mexican, American, and English.
Mm-hmm.
I do research
Mm-hmm.
about where my lineage comes from. So, and my aunt told me that my great grandparents are from Spain, but my grandparents are from Mexico, and my parents are from Mexico, and I'm born here. But I'm not first generation. I'm like, I could be like think I'm like second or third generation.
You could be both, depending on your grandparents.
My great grandparents from Spain, and the language I speak is Italian, but I have a Portuguese last name. But then you have your two grandparents. You have your grandmother on your dad's side before she married, her last name, and you have your grandmother on your mom's side before she married, and you have her last name, and you have your grandfather's, your mom's dad, and your dad's dad, and you have all four of those last names.
Okay. Yeah.
But where did those last names originate, right?
Yeah.
In
All
other
sorts of
countries.
places. Okay. Yeah.
So is it important to know at 44 years old where your lineage came from? Yeah.
Okay.
To me, it is.
So knowing where we came from, that part is important to you. Maybe there's two questions here. To know where you came from, and is it important to know what happens after death?
Yeah.
Tell me about knowing about after death.
Well, the Lord said He's going to make a lake of burning fire, eternal fire. I don't want to be a part of that.
Okay. What do you know that from? How do you know about hell?
The Revelation in the Bible, Holy Bible, King James. Did you read that part too?
Yes, I grew up in a fundamentalist missionary school. It's kind of Southern Baptist for the first 20 years of my life, and my parents were young Earth creationists. Well, they still are, sir.
All right. So did I answer FK pretty good?
I think so. I'm kind of going down the path of the next obvious question is, why do you trust that Revelation got it right?
Because it was written by Hebrew and Greek, and it was done by mankind. As far as the Revelation says, St. John was one of the saint. There was a lot of St. Johns, but
Okay.
he's the one that wrote.
How do you know that what St. John wrote? Okay, first of all, when we're talking about the revelation of St. John, it was a vision that was written down on the Isle of Patmos. He had a dream, he had a vision, and he wrote the stuff down.
Yeah.
And how do we know that his vision was true as opposed to
Because this is what I believe.
an exception? Right,
That's
you believe it.
Yeah.
Why do you believe it? What convinced you to think so?
I believe in dreams and visions. When it comes to being in the church.
Okay. Can dreams and visions be incorrect?
Not the ones back then.
Okay. Are dreams and visions sometimes incorrect now?
Yeah.
Okay. What made them back then reliable when they're not now?
Well, first of all, they didn't have no heaters back then. If you sit your head next to a heater or a furnace in your house, there's a proven fact that I can tell you I've had nightmares, even during the day.
Okay.
It all depends on the individual.
What causes that?
The heat that goes to your head if you're watching a lot of television.
Okay.
And internet. So it's going to build an image when you go to sleep. And it might be bad.
If let's say back in the day you had a campfire, before you went to bed you put the campfire up, but it's warm, so you put your head near the campfire. Do you have bad dreams?
Quite possibly, probably so.
So that's the kind of thing that could make your dreams unreliable.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know that did not happen to St. John on the Isle of Patmos?
Because there's other prophets in the Bible that foretold something and it did come true.
Okay, so the other prophets in the Bible validate this. John's vision was correct.
Quite possibly that if they stick around the other disciples, then they're able to
Okay.
be more, such as a monk in
Okay.
the monastery. It can be more private. So I believe that when they stuck around each other, quite possibilities that scriptures they were writing were.
Okay. So because
The revelation is tricky because it also says that we are in an empty space, and we're in that empty space right now.
okay.
We don't know what's going to happen, from here to 2 weeks from now.
All right.
We're in an empty space.
So you said that because they hang out together, it's possible somewhere in here, it's possible from unlikely to likely that someone could have a true vision.
Yeah.
How would we know how likely it was in this case, specifically for St. John writing the Revelation, because
They
that
followed
is the source.
protocol.
What protocol did they follow?
Praying to God and keeping things holy.
Okay, if we do that protocol today, will we be able to have visions that are true?
Like I said, they stuck together. They built churches. So it was different back then.
What did they do differently than what we do today? What do we do today that messes it up?
Wow, look at Trump. Look what he did. We can't even go to the church right now because of COVID.
Trump did that?
I'm hearing he did. I'm not blaming him.
Okay.
I voted for him, but I'm
Okay.
not. I'm saying that it was his presidency. A lot
Okay.
of people are saying that he's responsible.
On his watch,
Yeah.
this occurred. So let's say a year ago, before COVID was a thing, were they following the protocol, and could they get visions that are true?
Who did?
Who did that? Well, you're saying about 2000, well, a little less than maybe 1900 something years ago, whatever the dating is, that at that time they were following a protocol and they did things that allowed them to have visions that were reliable and true. And today, we're not doing that very well.
Are you trying to say 2,000 years ago?
I'm trying to say 2000 years ago, but I understand the Revelations was written in maybe the year 90.
The Jewish calendar says we're in the year
Right, I'm
we're in the
working
year
off the
8,000. 8,000.
I'd like to go back to Revelation.
Yeah.
And understanding the secret sauce of what allows us to have confidence, John, on Patmos, when under the same kind of situations in the modern day, I'm not sure why I would believe. So if somebody writes a thing in 1960 and I was on an island and I wrote this
But
down.
there is a part of his scripture that says that he saw also an empty spot.
An empty spot.
Yeah. Where he says, the Bibles were closed for a few.
What, a place where the scrolls were closed? We're talking about in Revelations when the scrolls were closed, the seals and 7 seals,
Yeah.
opening scrolls. Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about.
I've read it before.
So
I've read it several times when I believed it, and about
those
once
were
since
the
I didn't.
woes. Those were the woes.
Okay.
But according to according to God, been too many changes everywhere
There's been too many changes for what?
in the world.
For what? Too
Not-
many changes for something to happen, for some.
It's not the same. We're not living in the old world where, Jesus would talk to the disciples and say, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Some pastor,
Okay.
some pastor could be, some guy,
Uh-huh.
a pastor from Pentecostal church.
Yeah.
Could be approaching my vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm getting in my Cadillac. I close the door and take off and go to Las Vegas. I don't have to listen to his preaching.
Right.
That's the difference between shutting everything up, sealing things up, not wanting to hear about the Bible, and then, or he invite me to his church and I go to his church.
Mhm.
And everybody prays to God and me too. So that would add another person.
Okay. If I were to come across a story written down by somebody who was on an island, how could I tell whether the story was true? How could I check?
It's true, we weren't there.
It's true
But-
that we weren't there, or
Right.
it's true because we weren't there. You're
Yeah,
just saying
it's true because we weren't there.
it's true because we weren't there. Okay.
But to figure it all out, it's better to leave God to figure it out. We have to live our daily lives, to try and be as holy as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'd like to leave it at that.
all right.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your talk with me, one.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a screenshot of that of the test, and perhaps I could. Yes. And can you see this? Like, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Come around and have a look.
That's small. Barely.
Yeah, I'm wondering. There.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if you'd like to take a shot with your camera, so that you have your answers for.
I don't need them. I'm good.
Okay.
What is?
These are just the 24 questions that you answered, and
Yeah.
what your answers were. That was kind of cool and useful.
You guys could keep them. You guys gonna keep them? What are you guys gonna do with them?
We don't usually keep them. Usually it's just for the duration of the conversation. Now, this was a live stream and it will stay on YouTube. So it is kept, at least in that sense.
Is your live stream done?
It's on right now.
Oh, it's still on?
Yeah, we're live right now.
What do you think about the answer? Pretty good.
I agree with you on a lot of them. On some of them, you see that you will accept some things as true that I don't accept as true.
Like which one?
I've been an atheist since about 2007 or 8.
But you told me that you had a doctorate too. I mean that you got something going in the ministry, right? Christian ministry.
I was a theist until I was 41 or something. And I grew up in a missionary school. My parents were staff in a missionary school.
Is that bad?
No, not at all bad. I'm saying that I believed in God for more of my life than I didn't. So I'm very familiar with Revelation, and these days I don't believe it. And
these days,
and I
my
don't want
belief.
to
These days, my belief
push
on it.
people off because of that. Go ahead.
These days, my belief on it is basically leave it up to God. God has all the answers.
Okay.
I'm not scolding you. I'm telling you, just
Yeah, I hear you.
relax. Have a holy day if you want to. And I'm not forcing religion on.
I appreciate that.
But You know,
and I'm not forcing anti-religion.
there's been
on you.
people that have been forcing their religions on me. So
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I would like to not be that in either direction.
but it was a good topic as far as those things concerned, as far as, you know. You know, your questions, where did you get those questions at?
This list of 24 questions was written in 2018 by somebody who does this kind of thing, epistemology, named Ben Diesel from South Africa.
Oh, I thought you said Vin Diesel.
Ben.
You heard of Vin Diesel?
I have, definitely. And if I even look for Ben Diesel, Google says, you mean Vin, right? No, I'm talking about Ben.
Vin Diesel's Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
Beat Street. He was in Beat Street.
Uh-huh.
Remember the breakdancing movie in New York?
I believe
At
you.
the Roxy? You didn't see Beat Street?
I don't watch much movies.
No, back then.
I believe you, and I really don't.
I'm more into hip hop. I'm a computer tech and cell phone tech, but I'm also a promoter to something called the OG Poppers Picnic, which is also on YouTube and Facebook. You get to meet celebrities from the early breakdancing movies.
Nice.
Rap stars from the 80s and 90s. Soul Train dancers, choreographers of Michael Jackson. Most important choreographers of Michael Jackson. I've known about Hollywood since 1981. So I was like 5 years old. Wow, they almost hit each other.
Well, I'm glad they didn't. Oof.
Did you hear that?
I heard a squeal and a bump and I didn't hear the crash.
Did you hear the
So I'm
horn?
real happy. I heard the horn and I heard the squeal. I heard the upsetedness. Indeed. Oh, somebody just put Vin Diesel in the live show text.
Can I go get my other mask?
Yes.
Talk some more. I don't mind. What's this?
I
left my car with the window down. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. You can take one of those three. You can choose. And the idea is that if you come back for more conversations, you can collect all three. It's one of these obvious bribes to get you to come back for more conversations.
And all in all, what is this thing?
It's just a gear.
Yeah.
Like a machine working through something or working through the gears. It's supposed to be a metaphor for like clearly meshing gears in your head. When gears grind, that's like cognitive dissonance.
It's about thinking things through.
Yeah, just thinking things through.
All right.
Indeed. Yeah, if you come back, I'd love to have Quinn talk to you.
Quinn?
Quinn? That's Quinn there. The one who, he's also an epistemologist.
Where are you going?
I'm going to be right here. We're just trading off.
Oh.
I'm not going anywhere.
What is epistemology life about?
Uh,
Asking questions?
Epistemology life is about really holding critical thinking as a high value, really taking the slow, deliberate thinking about what you believe and understanding the why you believe, as opposed to, I think a lot of times people will come to a belief through simple reason. Like, for example, I believed in revelation, and the reason I did was because my parents told me it was true. And my church told me it was true. When I was young enough that I didn't have the opportunity to check it for myself. And then later on when I checked it, I didn't believe it as much because my standards had changed. You know, but 40 years later, okay, when I was much older.
It's crazy how there's houses here on the hill.
Yes.
A lot of that scenery is in Italy.
Houses on hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of hills there. And a lot of people. They need a lot of houses. It's a good thing.
You should pan your camera over there so Mr. Macedonia.
Okay. I will take this camera. And you see the houses on the hill over my shoulder? Beautiful houses up on a beautiful hill with so much beautiful engineering to hold them in place carefully.
Juggling lessons?
Juggling lessons. That's
that-
me. That's
that's
the name
you?
of that's the name of the channel we're on right now.
Yeah.
And the name came back from when I used to teach juggling at Renaissance Fair. That's how I got the. So I've had the handle for 10 or 15.
Where's Renaissance? What Renaissance fair did you wait? Don't tell me. Is it the one in Santa Fe Dam? Is it
Agora, was that?
Gura Hills?
I think, yeah, Agora Hills.
Wow, where's that at?
I could find it on a map. I can,
Find it. Hurry.
if you take the 91 freeway out to the 15 and go north, and just before you turn onto the 215, it's this like the second to last exit. It's way out in the middle of a windy area.
Ontario?
Yeah, near Ontario.
I
It's
didn't know Gura
it-
Hills was over there.
Maybe I'm wrong about the name of the place. Devore was the closest local town. Maybe Agora Hills was the one from prior. I'm probably thinking about this incorrectly. Anyway, and it was not just that Renaissance fair. That was the most common one. For many years, I really enjoyed wearing old fair garb and teaching children to throw up in public.
Teach your children how to juggle, right?
Yep, and adults, but more children were interested than adults, so it was 70% teaching children.
Is he related to you?
Only in the same sense that you are.
Oh,
I think all
I thought he
humans are
was
related.
I thought he was your son.
Nope. That's my wife. That's my husband. That's my friend Quinn.
And I have to go pick up our other wife.
Yes, you do. Okay. Good. Yeah, walking would be no fun with this much stuff.
Probably.
All right.
Did you ever own a Harley?
No, I did own some other kinds of motorcycles. I did have one point a Yamaha V-twin. That was a little like a Harley, but never owned a Harley.
Should I come back? I left my window down
You're
in
welcome
my
to.
car
Yeah, I would enjoy that.
with another mask on and a hat.
Yeah, and we have spares if you run out.
I've been in Monrovia this whole month
Uh-huh.
helping a friend named Petey who lives in an RV.
Uh-huh.
Gonna be his caretaker.
Good.
Clean out his.
Nice. It's good when people get cared for.
You gonna let me have one of these?
You totally can have one of these. So he's taking a tic tac. So update from odd to even or even to odd.
There's several.
Wow. You know, if the reasons you're overdosing.
You got a card?
Let's see. I don't. Would you hand me one of those? Reid card? Yeah, I'm gonna hand you a Reid card. Reid is my mentor. I only had 2 of those, but these you can get a hold of me on. Yes.
Who's Reid?
I think we'll keep streaming as long as we get another chance. If you run out of time or there's a reason for us to stop, I bow to your need. Reid is first of all, Reid is in the audience. He was one of the people asking some of the questions, and Reid is the first guy I did this kind of thing with in public, and he taught me a lot of what I know. And I don't have my own cards yet. I'll get to that. I've only been my channel's only 2 months old. I'm Dali, D-A-L-I. Like the painter. Yeah.
Golly,
Yes.
can anyone help me maybe with a couple bucks?
I don't know. I can't right now. You can ask them. That's foil.
Oil.
Here you
Oh. About God bless.
Thank you.
Later.
Well, I was gonna come back. You said I could
Yeah.
in my hand.
Yep. Okay. Yes. Uh-huh.
Think so? We're free. Right now. 8 months, I'd be nervous. And the weight. So we got miles on. Okay. You. Bye, foil.
No, thank you. Me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All along the back
Front two.
and your scalp.
Oh, I've gotten sunburn, have I?
And your head.
Oh, interesting. Sunscreen, yes.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, how many people? Yeah, definitely. There's also some other people that don't call themselves production team members that contribute a good deal, like Sleepy, who is my co-host over on the chessboard on Sundays. There's Rom, who is, I'm his co-host on our training meetings on Saturday. There is, of course, the board of SEI, Street Epistemology International, that have paid for like one of these microphones and one of these data plans that make this possible. Yes, I gave him one of your cards out of the miscellaneous box. And of course, there's the staff on the Street Epistemology Discord, all of which help make this meaningful. Oh, yes, sunscreen in the box. Woohoo! Sunscreen. Kimberly, will you apply sunscreen on me in the places you can tell?
That's why I was
Okay. Well, we'll deal with that.
So how's that one, Dolly?
How's that one?
Yeah. How was it? Conversation?
Oh, very, very,
let's talk about
there was a lot of rapport time at the beginning.
Yeah, I think
We
that
spent
was
half an hour before he made a claim.
it was
Maybe
about an hour long, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It was really long, and he never did get around to a claim or stating a belief. He talked a lot about history and that kind of thing. And from a rapport perspective, that's great. From a belief modification perspective, it's rapport.
Yeah. Yeah.
That helps. When we got to the survey, that really helped punch through some stuff, and that's when I learned he was a theist.
Uh-huh.
And we did actually go through a process of examining, for example, why he accepts the reality of hell, accepts hell as a fact, and his reason is Revelation, Book of Revelation.
Mm.
And Revelation was for the reason that at the time they followed a proper protocol that would make it. What do they call it?
Call visions were correct back then.
Visions were correct back then because they followed the right protocol because they were hanging out with Jesus. that kind of thing, and then there was an additional validation that had to do with other prophecy.
So
But that was never revisited, so I'm not sure that was very important.
Visions today not correct.
Correct, because something where we're not following the
Jamestown.
right protocol.
Or just
And
whatever.
yeah, counterexamples.
Johnstown, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Here are people.
Let's see. Hey there. You guys got 5 minutes? No? Okay.
Got waiting for Dolly. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yes, I hear you. Yeah, that was an odd like, oh, bring him to the US because that'll be better. Why? Why is that better? Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, and with Trump here now, we can't do it anymore. I see. Yeah.
Is he offered you're going to interrogate? Comes back.
Yikes. Okay.
Volunteered you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If he comes back, I said I'd like you to talk to him.
Throw me in there. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
Perfect.
you can
Chuck
different
you in.
questions in there. Different, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I think I'll start with some God claim because that seemed to be the basis he was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think getting a different interrogator would
Change things.
reset to the beginning and
Yeah.
let you run through it without right now, if I were to take him through that, it would be almost
down?
argumentative.
Yeah. Because you guys were sort of maybe steeped in a lot of stuff. Yeah, a good reset. Be good. He'll probably eat the other half of the text.
That's fine. I actually mean to get a new box of Tic Tacs. These are the ones sent to me by Anthony. And in shipping, the box got cracked. So now that he opened them, I have an excuse to go get myself a new unopened box.
Anthony sent you Tic Tacs? Did he send you like a street of
This shirt
Epistemology?
and that shirt are a gift from Anthony.
Did they all come in the same package? Like,
Yes. Yeah, he sent me a care package.
so,
Along with a couple of neat, like a little squishy brain that's the number 4. Also a signed copy of the Orange Book. Yes.
a new test.
This one, a gift by Anthony. The puzzle pieces provided by Reid. Thank you
I
for
always
those.
thought these were hard.
Okay.
You know, didn't. This is my first time realizing the direction.
Yeah, the little squeezy sponges.
Yeah, show this fish.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can squish the gear without disassembling it.
Yeah.
They're good little squeezies.
No, they
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to change my mask and get up and stretch a little bit. Wow. Okay. Is something to think about. Could talking to multiple SEers in succession impact the effectiveness of SE positively or negatively? I hope it's positively. We might have an example of some of that today. One little option. I'm going to step over and yes.
Sounds dirty.
Yeah, you can make everything sound dirty. Sweet. Yeah.
Nathan in here.
I'm going to get something to drink. Stand up and take a short break. And let's see.
Hey, could you teach me the other juggling tricks that you were doing?
Mill's Mess?
Could you give me a juggling lesson?
Yes.
Because I know this one.
Ah, okay.
But you were doing
Schoolyard.
Like another...
That's called schoolyard.
Okay.
Because what happens is in schoolyard, let me have two of these. There's this tendency to throw it back at yourself, and the pump is forward. It's fore and aft.
You want the pump to be forward?
No, that's the problem.
Oh, okay.
The issue is that when you're doing this, you have to catch and then go forward and come back to throw. So it takes longer.
Okay.
And the
As opposed
issue
to
is
keeping your hands
if you
just...
right. Whereas if you do the here, I'll hang this up and just hope that you can hear me. If it's been sitting too long. If you do it like this, right, and let's say it goes a little bit off, a little bit this way, so I have to correct, and then I'm this way, and the next throw over there. Okay. The problem is it's fundamentally unstable because whenever you make a correction, it enhances the error.
Right.
The errors line up.
I see. Yeah.
So in this case, if I were to turn 90 degrees sideways, boom, like this, you can watch my elbows, they won't move. I'm throwing exactly sideways. And then the beauty of it is the errors I make tend to not add up in that axis.
That's what I want to learn.
Okay.
Huh?
Come on over here and stand up in the. We're going to violate a 6-foot rule real bad like here. We are, see each other. Step in until we're laughing. Violating. And now put that hand down. And now catch. Now when I throw up here, the top here. Now I saw a little schoolyard. I saw some forward and backward. So the trick is moving this axis. And I'm going to try to half the rest. Now your eyes were tracking it. So I want you to look where my eyes are. Good. You can, because you're tracking, you're actually peripheral vision, not your focus center vision. Right. You hold your center vision steady. Don't worry about dropping. It's only the throws that matter.
Move the mic so we can see, please.
Wind up before you started. Ignore the wind up. Just pop. Okay. So give me a pop.
Awesome.
Good. And note the throw up. Go pop. From right. Pop. Shorter the stroke, more accurate the stroke. So now react. That was a bad throw on my part.
He reacted.
Now you're reacting to that throw, not
Great audio and video.
outside. I want you inside. There you go. Good. Now your reaction. The next lesson. The natural thing is focusing it right there.
Oh God.
Two. He didn't sneak. He didn't hear my sneak. Yes. Okay. Hat.
Yeah.
Wow. Juggling with 2 people.
Weird using his hand instead of yours.
It is really weird. So a very natural situation is when you're trying to react fast, you'll throw it away. It'll go whoop, supposed to that. It'll go over it. And then turn up the camera. Yep. So that. Okay, I don't care. We're gonna.
Shit.
Lessons with ball playing by Juggling Lessons.
I think this is how he convinced his other partners. Juggling us.
And that's
Yeah.
a thing to learn.
I want to see them juggle and SE at the same time.
Right.
Someone requested juggle.
I haven't practiced that.
That would be awesome if you can do it, Dolly.
And
Finally, your
also
channeling makes
volunteer that our
sense.
SC are taking it.
I'll
Okay,
be
so
your interlocutor.
Try it with yourself and see if you can keep it in this.
Yeah.
Okay, I am very thirsty. So start with one of. I was sitting there halfway through going, I do not want to take a break to get a drink.
He's what? I didn't hear what he said.
We're live on YouTube.
My form.
Yes.
It's a little bit fore and aft, but it's not nearly so much as before. That's very close. Yeah. You are coming off the front of your hand. You're coming off this part of your hand as opposed to this part of the side. Yeah, because I want you throwing sideways. And I'm picking on your form 10 times more than I need to just to force a change of habit.
Looks like Quinn got it. One lesson he can juggle.
But what I wanted to learn, maybe I'm.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be juggling. Something.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all there is to it here?
I want to get really good at juggling balls.
There's an inside. So the first thing, they can. The inside shower is the first one that we teach.
Yeah.
Okay. Mask. So I can. The inside shower works really easy, and it's the one where my butt wiggles the least.
Okay.
If I go outside, see how my butt has to wiggle?
Yeah.
Because what I'm doing is I'm taking
It's the whole body.
I'm taking the momentum, and I'm having to reverse the momentum. It's like that schoolyard on the outside. So again, it's not schoolyard like this. It's schoolyard this way,
Right.
as opposed to
Instead of this way, it's going now counterclockwise.
Depends on which hand. If you're right-handed, It is counterclockwise.
Yeah.
But it's outside to the end. So that's out 3-ball outside shower, and it's a bit more energetic.
Yeah, that's what I need.
And the trick is with this one is you're getting it out and you're getting it stopped and you're throwing straight out.
Okay.
And your error will cause it to land in. And the trick is to only have it land in the middle, not have it land way over here.
There. Okay.
Because the wider you get, the harder this is.
Yeah.
Whereas outside, where it's really narrow, is relatively easy. Okay. So yeah.
Can I see you just switch them really quick?
Yes.
Inside to outside.
So inside to outside to inside to outside, and then there's the windmill, where they're
all
both going the same direction.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was right.
Can I get you?
Sure.
Is there going to be any editing going on or no? Who's the editor? You?
So when I start thinking about what I'm doing is when I mess up, because my left brain is a complete spaz. The one that can talk can't juggle.
Right.
So I might be on the inside, and then I start going all in the same direction. And then I can do it the other direction.
Yeah. That's going to take some
practice.
practice.
Windmill right and left. And then if every 3 balls I keep changing my mind, that's called Mill's mess.
That is Queen. Did you originally intend for your YouTube channel to be juggling lessons?
No, I just got juggling lessons as an email account.
Okay.
And that just turned out to be the one that people could most easily remember, so that's the one I used almost entirely. And then when I created the channel, it was the easiest possible thing was just to use the existing channel.
So for outside, you want to keep the motion like this.
Yes,
and you want to,
and it has to fall in the middle.
so like, oh,
And notice it didn't fall in the middle; it went all the way to the other side.
yeah. So
The weird thing is to
all
get
of
it
them
to
have-
fall short, so that you can pop.
Practice.
And then
Get
your
that
left
target.
brain started tracking the balls again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To practice.
I had a wet straw for a while.
Right. More water on your straw. Okay. I got a wet. Dolly's favorite trick. I haven't practiced this in a while. Three ball flash start. That's one of them. And then the other one that I really like is stopping on the back of the hand. So it's a stop that's odd. Just lands on the back of the hand like yay. Of course, I'm doing this in silhouette. You can barely see what I'm doing. So if I stop on the hand, like yay, I can also throw up both of those with both hands and start by throwing two balls up in the middle of that kind of thing. And really my favorite trick juggling, teaching other people to juggle. That's the thing I like to do the most.
We're testing it.
Uh-huh. Yes, I did neglect the timer. I usually do. That's why I don't advertise 5-minute talk, because the good ones aren't. Did you want to understand that three ball flash?
Kinda.
Okay. It's a special grip. What I do is notice that I have one ball out on the end.
Yeah, that one goes higher.
And it goes higher. And if the other two are at least split, boom. Ta, ta, ta.
Ah.
So now I got enough room. If I can get that much of a split, we're good to go. Okay.
Not try it. Your robot.
That was China. Oh, absolutely. Especially that with California redemption value. Then I can use today's bottles for tomorrow's bottles to buy more bottles. Fox.
Got bottles and had passerbys go. Somebody.
Might as well.
Yeah, I might not. As much as we spend getting elected.
I can't do alcohol anymore. I had to give that up. Even before I had to give up sugar.
Wow. No alcohol, no sugar.
Yeah. And make it up with other vices.
Street epistemology.
That yes.
That has become an
Yes. Yes. SE has taken over my
I
life.
heard Boyle
and
tell
I'm very
someone on
happy
the
about it.
phone that you ban as right now. You'll get back to it, but this one's
Yeah, try not to abandon that project completely, but it really stalled for a year.
Are you remodeling?
We are rebuilding.
totally renovated. And
I mean,
taking it
we're
to
talking
solar
about a boat that required work to get up to the point where it was ready to be junked.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yep. Go ahead. Go for it.
Oh, that's, I already went.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good long one. Good long. Yes. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Space opinions. Certain doing.
Sing it, Dolly.
Oh, if I do it well, we'll get a copyright strike. So I got to be careful.
Oh, that's true.
You know, if you sing really, really badly, like off key, you
Then
could
they don't
probably
care.
avoid getting a copy. Yeah, then they wouldn't call it. But I have to practice like heck to sing off key.
Yeah, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, or you.
Yeah.
There's a fellow who came by a couple times, but Quinn approached him and he didn't seem interested. So there's a potential interlocutor coming along. Who knows? Yeah, say maybe 100 meters out. Now,
Kinda
if
like
I sing, go ahead.
it's kind of like fishing. Got to wait for a fish to come.
Yes. Oh yeah. So if I were to sing a recognized song, but I were to sing a harmony part, would that give me a copyright strike?
Isn't it more so if you actually play the track itself?
I don't know how their thing works.
Because that's what
I
I've
don't know
noticed.
how good it is at figuring that out. That's okay. Lots of options. Oh, there's a debate today.
Yeah, that's what people. Oh, it's still saying we're the one.
Biden Trump debate,
Debate.
9 p.m.
Hmm.
Central Time.
I doubt anything they say could make me change my vote. I am quite close to doxastically closed on my question about the presidential election in November. I think I've been doxastically closed about Trump since about 2 years before he announced his run.
Oh, somebody asked you guys all set up. Dolly ought to answer in because you were there set up.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
When I
It was not normal, but I have known you've had one or two people wait. Yeah.
Some of them would wait to be the next one. Some of them would walk and come back to be the next one.
Yeah.
They'd be interested because they hear someone else doing it and then they get an idea.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a lot more buy-in with we're
Come over here.
yeah. A lot
Kimberly?
less enthusiasm.
Would you find rip a small piece of tape and put it over that hole?
Mm-hmm.
And then probably on this one right. That hole seems to be a way for. Oh, yeah, lines at these setups. Yeah, ask Reid more than me. Reid had done a whole lot of these solo. And every time I ever did it with Reid was a time when we had multiple epistemologists. So I never saw what the solo thing looked like.
Right. Yeah, I don't have an experience pre-COVID, so I don't know. Like, there was one time when I went to a trail on a really popular day, and I did have a group of people waiting to be interviewed. It's very rare. And I think maybe COVID has something to do with that, or less, willing to interact with a stranger.
Yeah.
Social distancing, all that.
Yeah, all that jazz.
Roughly. Yeah, we were gonna see if we could find a picnic table,
right,
and set up further apart.
Yeah. Oh, the long ends of the picnic.
Yeah, and maybe I'll even do that still.
That'll work with the headphones.
Yes. That would be easy. How would you like it to be? Yes. Okay. So I think we're going to turn 90 degrees.
We've got an interlock.
Yep. Yes. Okay. To grab that end. Turn yours that way. Yeah, about like that.
Can we go back into the shed?
Yes. Yeah, I just finished one. And I'll give you a quick little cleaning. Make sure it's nice in here. You're on this side. And I'll clean this.
I already wiped out.
Thank you. Yes, I did have my hands all over. We're trying to be carefully clean. Oh yeah.
Yeah. How'd you make those?
Those are made out of stainless steel split ring, which you have to buy in bags of thousands.
No other way.
$100 minimum, but that's okay. And then there is a small steel ball in the center, and then I hit it together with the 12 tool, like a 12 of 20-sided dice.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there's a geodesic formed.
Right.
You mind if I get a water now?
Please.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah. Take two.
If you like. Take a seat right here? Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Yeah, you're. Okay, I'm gonna rotate.
So, Yeah, I don't. Did you get a chance to look at any of those prompts, or did you have your own?
What was that?
Did you get a chance to look at any of those post-its, or did you have your own idea maybe of what you wanted to talk about?
Ideas. We're gonna talk about.
And you don't have to.
It's got to be one of these.
No, no. Anything you believe in.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be on there. Those are just to give people ideas.
Okay.
Anything jump out at you? Anything?
I'll talk about basketball.
Basketball?
How's that?
Okay. What's the claim about basketball?
What do you mean by claim?
Okay, sorry, I should have explained a little bit better. Got it, FK. Could you
Put this on?
Yes, please.
Oh.
And I'm going to rotate this around so it's pointed at you. And with the headphone, you can tell that it's picking you up.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're okay with being recorded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are live.
Okay.
We are live right now.
All right, super. So yeah, basically what we want, we could talk about basketball or your favorite TV show or something like that, but what's preferable, I think, for me is something fundamental to you that sort of affects your life, or we like sort of maybe more grand claims, something that we could examine in a bit more detail. A lot of popular ones
Work?
are karma, God, work. What about work?
I work at a community college, so obviously this whole pandemic thing has affected us quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to.
I know. I was just walking around the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, no, you're good. You weren't ready for this.
No.
Nobody is. All I mean by claim is just like something that's contentious that you have a stance on. So like a claim could be that abortion is wrong, or that abortion is good, or that.
Well, I saw one of your options there was is the virus a hoax or not, or so I don't think so. I think it's real.
Okay, we can talk about that.
Okay.
Wow. Super. What is the coronavirus? How would you describe it or define it?
As I understand it, it's a airborne virus that you can catch. You don't need to be physically touched by it, whatever. It could be in the air.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't delved too much into the scientific of it, but that's what's more unique about it than maybe others, where you actually need some type of contact.
Right, physical contact. Yeah. So it's a disease that's airborne, and it's sort of easily transmittable and all that kind of stuff. Like, do you know, I guess, what it does to people?
Well, that's the thing. For some people, it does nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So you can get tested and you technically have it, I guess, but you have no symptoms. You don't feel bad. Nothing happens to you. And then for other people, they die. So right. I know that a lot of the people that have died had other health related factors. Obesity, diabetes, things like that.
Yeah. So. Okay. So they die. Oh, that's one of the people listening online. Could you hear him?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he was just asking what's your name? I forgot to ask.
Oscar, Oscar.
Okay, so yeah, that's what the coronavirus is, and how confident? I guess see these little scales right here on the board. Let's say this is 0 and this is 100. How confident are you? And you could show the screen here. That coronavirus is real and not a hoax.
I would say probably.
Okay, what is that, like 98%? Okay, so why are you, could you show it to the camera?
This one?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, you're good. Thanks. So why are you that confident that corona is real or exists?
Because I know people who have died from it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you knew that they had it before they died, like they got the diagnosis.
I know that they contracted it. They went to the hospital. They were there for multiple weeks, and that was the cause of death that they gave.
Right. Okay. Is there? That's a pretty good one. That personal experience of knowing people who died from it. Is there anything else, or is it?
Oh, to me, that's pretty. For my way of evaluating things, I'm pretty confident based on that. Yeah.
So that's what gets you maybe from like 0% to 98%.
Right.
Nothing about. Let me see.
like it was a hospital conspiracy, or was
Uh.
there? That's why I guess you have the 2% or whatever. Right? I don't know.
Why do you have that?
Because I've always taught that things are never always, or 100% or 0%, or
Okay.
nothing's black and white, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay, so you're just leaving that 2% like because you recognize that you could be wrong about anything, right?
sure.
Like, okay.
And I'm sure there are people that may have died and it was attributed to coronavirus, but maybe it wasn't that or whatever. Or maybe the amount of it having to do with that was not to the degree they would have died if they didn't have all these other things or stuff. Or they would have died anyway because of these other things.
But you're more on the side that the diagnosis of corona is the correct one, and it's not. It's people aren't. Yep. Are we good? Okay. Okay. So I think what I'm hearing from what you're saying, and I'll just have a couple more questions. What I'm hearing is that you, on the claim of on the question of is coronavirus a hoax, or you believe that it's not, you think it's real, and people talk about I forget what it's called, like a misdiagnosis, like
Sure.
they're attributing deaths from other diseases to corona to like boost the numbers or something. I think that's part of the hoax conspiracy or whatever you want to call it. But you think you're more on the side that that is not happening that much or at all or something.
I don't know.
Okay.
That part I don't know. I know that for things to be a hoax, I mean, because it seems like this has affected the entire world, you'd have to have a lot of people in on it.
Yeah,
So
definitely. So that's what I'm curious about. Like, is it just the personal experience, or is it that? Because that seems like a fact too that would inform your confidence. Like the fact that it's affected the world to such a large degree, for me, gives me about this much confidence too that it's 98%. Like, would you say that's another factor?
yeah.
Okay.
If it was something regional or just here in this country or whatever, you could,
Yeah. Maybe you can make that claim.
Well, yeah, I mean, understanding if it's airborne, why is it not happening in other places?
Right.
How does it just here?
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. One more question. You're at 98% now that coronavirus is real. Is there anything hypothetically that could lower your confidence? Any event or information that you could learn or anything?
Lower it meaning make it less than 98%?
Yeah, like maybe even all the way down to 50% or 20%. What could you learn? What could falsify your belief here?
Again, I'm not a scientist, but I believe in science,
right.
and I trust people who are in the scientific community.
Uh-huh.
So if something came up where they said, oh, you know what, we're wrong, this is what we know now, because science is never 100%. It's always
they like the World Health Organization or like
maybe or there's people all over the world doing research on this, right? So I'm not looking for one
source.
Specific place. Yeah. But
so if the scientific community maybe came to some kind of consensus, or even just any credible sources from the scientific community said, like, you know what, coronavirus, it's not as prevalent as you think it is, or maybe if they all came out, if a lot of people came out, like the World Health Organization, if they came out saying like coronavirus has been a big hoax this whole time, it's been a lie, would you believe them?
I would need to see what they have to back up what they're saying.
Okay.
That's the thing.
So evidence matters too.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I sort of understand what your belief is and how you got there. Thanks for stopping, Oscar.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what's this for? Are you guys like here all day, or? We're gonna be here for so.
is a hobby of learning where we don't we go through why they and how they got
Right.
how do people come to process their own
Conclusions.
conclusions.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your flow chart when you get new information? Flow chart.
Right.
And then if you take a belief, we'll open it up to you with your belief, with your reason, your fact, and your epistemology are justified in your own mind to have that level of. Sometimes people will have a level of confidence. They're 100% sure, and their reasons are this.
Right.
They'll sometimes adjust and go, okay, maybe I'm only 99%, and that's enough.
Well, I was born in a really Catholic household, and I'm not anymore. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this thing has.
Yep.
So I'm going to plug these back in, and
Yes,
thank you. All right.
Thanks a lot,
So,
Oscar.
Thank you, Oscar.
thank you for the water.
You bet. Take more if you like. We have plenty.
Yeah, I think during.
Oh,
Yeah, he asked.
Dolly, I'm gonna head out now.
okay.
Take care of COVID handshake.
COVID handshake, clang.
Bye, Kim. Good to see you.
Okay, this battery is toast. I need a new one. And given that Quinn is leaving, and we probably won't have another, I think we may be done with the stream for the day. Any feedback on that? Four hours enough. Okay, so let me go with the guest plug. Quinn Questions is a new up-and-coming YouTube channel, one of my promoted channels. Very, very happy to do this with Quinn today. This has been a lovely thing. He can't see. We have your. Yep, Quinn just gave a double thumbs up.
Photobomb.
Yep, photobomb the back of the camera. That's all good. Quinn's Questions is one of the many SE specific channels that I have here, are my 5 favorites that are easy to find on that rather longer list of promoted channels. If you are really into this method of street epistemology, my favorite spot for you to go get more is streetepistemology.com, provided by Street Epistemology International, which is a sponsor of this show to a degree. And I'm extremely grateful to them for providing the extra data account that allows us to have 2 cameras on these kinds of shoots. So thanks to Street Epistemology for that, as well as for buying one of these microphones. That's a really sweet thing. Also, Street Epistemology International has the SE podcast, which you'll find a lot of stuff like this, what we're doing. In fact, a lot of my shows end up being up there. It's really quite fun. The SE podcast is for those of you who like your SE in audio format. And that's a wonderful thing. Thank you all for coming. Ooh, break. No. This is Vanilla SE. Where's that break? I can't even see that thing. That's all right. Figure it out. Okay, there. Thank you. So if you would like to be a guest on my show for Vanilla SE or any of the other categories that we have, I would really look forward to hearing from you, and we can set up a time. Thank you very much. Oh, the sound. Send you out with our theme song. So if you'd like to be a guest on our show, I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.